Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here.
Mm-hmm.
What day show is this? Is this we are back from vacation? Is this now, or is this recording for the future?
No, this is Tuesday.
It's a Weird Job Wednesday.
Oh,
actually,
God.
Wait, this is a weird
God damn it. This
that
is a
3-day
future.
weekend really gets you.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked. And then we have supposedly we have a storm coming.
Yeah.
But it's just going to be like rain.
No, yeah.
I think it's
tropical
gonna be
storm is
really wet.
I don't even consider that.
Isn't it a hurricane now?
I don't know.
Okay.
Nah.
From what I
gotta
mean,
go to spaghettymodels.com and find out.
Yeah.
it may
Shout
be
out to Mike for Mike's weather page.
It may be a hurricane now. It's expected to be a tropical storm when it
So
comes
you want
around.
to? Should we jump into this?
Yeah.
Because this is a little bit different. Am I playing the theme song?
Yeah.
Okay, so do the norm. Okay, I'm going to do the normal thing. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Weird Job Wednesday. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by Streamline Florida. If you're looking to refi or get a mortgage, use Streamline. Brian Zimel and his team will make sure that it gets through and is done the proper way.
Yeah.
That way you don't have snags.
Yeah, I hate snags. I'm an anti-snag guy. Whether it's in my mortgage or whether it's in my pantyhose, I dislike snags. Because that run, if you get a run in your pantyhose, it'll go all the way up to the crotch part where that little
Triangle,
part,
yeah.
the little, well, it's less of a triangle and more of like a doodad, a Rorschach cotton thing in there. It'll come all the way up there, and then you got to get a new pair of legs.
Anywhere in Florida, streamlineflorida.com.
Legs are the ones in the egg, if you're wondering. Legs in the egg.
So this is a little bit different. Explain to me, Samantha.
Whose concept was this?
What are we doing today?
So our guest's mom is actually the listener of the show, and she emailed me.
Is this a baby? Are we interviewing a baby?
It is
oh my
business baby
God.
again.
I've
No.
always wanted to interview a baby.
And she said that her daughter is starting her very first job, and she wanted us to give her some advice.
Oh,
all right.
we know jobs. Well, this is obviously a brilliant mother.
So this is Teen Job Wednesday.
Yeah,
Teen
Job
Job
Wednesday.
I should have phrased it differently.
No, I think that's okay.
Let's
How
think
No,
of a
scratch that.
How about Teens Performing Wednesday?
No,
Okay, all
I don't
right.
know if I like that either.
What about teens on display?
Live
Hold on.
teens
No.
doing
Teens.
teen things. Come for the teens. Stay for the jobs.
Okay, teen job.
Big fat slobs.
Okay, big fat teen.
Big fat teen slobs.
Sorry. What are we calling her now?
Yeah,
you had a name, you
okay,
said.
This particular teen is asked for the
Anonymous, yeah.
protection of an anonymous name.
Yeah.
This teen's name now is Runji
No, come on.
Nagart.
No.
This is Runji Nagart.
No,
Hello
can't
there,
say that.
Runji. Welcome to the program.
Hi there.
So
She sounds like a Runji, doesn't she?
this, you are currently working your first job, or you haven't been in there yet, or like how long? What? Give us the details.
There you go.
I just started, and I've worked for 2 days. They were like 3-hour shifts, and I don't really get any training. They just kind of were like, oh, they didn't expect me to show up.
That's the Tom and Dan
They
method.
didn't expect you to show
I
up.
like that.
The
yeah.
no training. That's the Tom and Dan method.
That's what happened with Travis. He just came in one
That
day, and I'm
sounds
like,
about right.
sit there and listen to us do the show.
You're not listening right. You're not listening right. You idiot.
Laugh in the background.
So, can you tell us what kind of job this is? Oh, God.
My God. Corona.
Sorry. Have you heard about Corona? I got that.
Yeah. You're going to be fine,
I didn't get the
though.
vaccine
No,
because you're crazy.
You're young, and you're going to be fine because you got powerful lungs. But this guy's, he's got one foot in the respirator.
Well, I'm working at a sub shop in Central Florida.
No!
That was my
All
first
right.
job as a
Now
teen.
I'm
That
go-
was my first teen job.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That
I
me
would
too.
love for you to have made me a sub as a teen. Oh, man.
I wouldn't melt your cheese on the bottom of your sub.
I knew you would know what I was talking about.
All right.
I wasn't being gross.
Runchy, you came to the right place because I am a former subman.
He is a former
Yeah.
sub man.
Samantha is a
Subwoman.
former subwoman.
Yeah.
I'm the only person that was of higher intellect and didn't have to work a day labor job.
I didn't get much training either.
I'm in a completely different social class.
They
you know,
just
you
basically
guys,
showed me a video to try and not unionize.
yeah,
That was
you,
about all
you
they
guys
gave
are the
me.
serfs, and I'm more of like cultural elite.
So, you may have just said it, but is this a mom and pop type of deal or a corporate sub place?
No, it's a chain.
Okay.
Okay.
I will
This is
have
Those
you
are
know-
worse, yeah.
I will have you know that this is perfect timing because Samantha wasn't with me, but Butler was.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to get a sub this morning at a local grocery store. It was Publix. And the boy making my sub, he cut it before he toasted it. And then he took it out of the toaster and he set half number 2 on top of half number 1
Stacked it.
with exposed melted cheese.
That makes no sense.
And then the melted cheese proceeded to latch itself onto the
Glue.
bottom of my sub a la Venom Marvel, and it became a giant cheese mess. And then he refused, through ignorance, to remake my sub.
Well, dude, we are at a time where all businesses are taking what they can get.
Yeah, they have to.
Because there's no
I felt bad
employ-
for the kids. It's a summer job. I felt bad for him.
Well, there's no employees,
No.
so literally they have to hire whoever it comes in, I think, because every place that I know of, every business is hiring, and most businesses do not have enough employees to
Okay.
actually run their business. So now
So we have Runji.
Yes.
She's got a job, and you need to know. What would be your number one question as far as your particular profession or this job? I wouldn't say profession. This is a job. So what's
Yeah.
your number one? What's question number 1?
How long did it take you guys to feel like 100% comfortable in your position? Because I can't remember all of
great
like the
question.
different recipes and what to do. I feel like a mess.
No, it's your nerves
Well,
kicking in.
you've only done 2 3-hour shifts, so that's fine.
Also, I can hear her intelligence. She's smarty pants.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can tell she's smart. She's quick and fast, and she's sweet. You can
It's
tell
just
she's
repetition. I'd say maybe
sweet. You're putting too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah, Runji, first piece of advice.
Gotta relax.
It does not matter.
nothing matters. Yeah.
It does not matter what you do. They will not fire you. There's no employees.
Yeah.
So,
They got Runji.
It's a worker's market right
so
now.
don't learn anything. Don't bother to memorize the recipe.
Yeah.
Just ask the customer what they want on it.
No, they have the little.
They do. They have cheat sheets.
They have the cheat
Yeah,
sheet.
yeah.
You just look at the cheat sheet. If it put the orange things on there, put the orange things on there. If it got the red, pepper some reds on there. If a couple of those green things that look
Only
like pickles.
3 pickles per 6
And
inch.
here's a little, a thing that most people don't know. When you ask them what type of bread they want, and they tell you, just give them anything, they will know. Because I don't know the
Oh,
difference
yeah.
between herb-crusted
said, "Oh,
cheese,
yeah."
bruschetta.
Don't say shit. Are you all right?
I don't know. Whatever it's called.
Cut that out.
Or the bruschetta.
Bruschetta.
I don't know
You
what-
sound like one of the Kennedy. Bruschetta. Ich bin ein Berliner.
Or wheat, or it's all the same S.
Yeah.
You just get it.
Well, no, except for the one that's been rolled in oatmeal.
So, yeah,
If you get the one, do you guys carry any breads that are rolled in ancient grains?
We have literally 2 types of bread. It's like one we classify as white Italian and like the multi-grain. If whatever they ask for, we just give them that one.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then there's a urban cheese one.
Here's
Urban
another.
cheese.
That means it's cheese that wraps.
I know that.
Cheese that moonwalks.
So
You're not allowed to say that. I don't think.
Yeah, that's not.
Do you remember when that happened at a meeting? When one of the higher ups was like, "We need more urban," and then they're like, "You mean black?" Do you remember that? Oh, I was in that meeting. Oh, it was rough.
another piece of advice: when someone orders the tuna, look at them in the eyes and say, "Have you seen the news?"
Right.
Like,
You sure you want this?
yeah. There's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
not. We
Yeah.
say, we
You want
label
the-
it tuna,
so
but
yeah,
there's
it's
no
just gray mayonnaise.
There's no genetic tuna in
It's
this.
gray mayonnaise.
Yeah. It's maybe fish. Yeah, whatever.
It's
You know what?
flakes
You-
of something.
You know,
Yeah.
Runji, did you know their answer to that was that this tuna has been cooked so much that its molecular structure changed? That was the explanation for it.
So, let me ask you about because I'm getting
You
an
gotta wear a
idea
uniform?
of what it is.
You got to wear a uniform.
Oh
or
yeah,
anything?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I actually don't have my uniform. I have followed up with my boss, and he said, oh, yeah, I'll get it to you. And I still don't have anything. So I just wear black jeans and, like, a polo shirt that I would wear to school, and
That's
I just
what
hope for the best.
Tom wears black jeans every day, and I tell him not to wear it. It's weird, but he says he just can't get out of his rock and roll lifestyle. He's a metalhead.
So let's talk about this because we've been having this discussion lately about jobs and the lack of employees and what it's caused by. And there's, everybody's trying to figure out like, oh, is this, because of unemployment and like the
Are you
benefits
trying to help
of-
her or are you trying to help the world?
Well, is it so you got a job? Is this the standard teen job where you needed a job and then you just apply around your area?
Okay, yeah, that's what I did.
Within close distance, and then whoever's hiring, you get a
Yeah.
job there. Is that kind of how it worked?
Yeah, there was a job fair at one of the local high schools, so I went there and, like, there was a circle of tables full of, like, local businesses, and there I gave them my resume. They gave me, like, a 5-minute interview, and then they hired me on the spot.
Yeah, they need you.
Yeah,
Oh my
because
God,
there's a
that's
lack
cool.
of. Now, did you
Butler,
think?
you should do that.
Did you think to yourself, like you picked a particular job that seems
It's hard. I think making sandwiches is hard, man.
Dealing with people
Yeah.
is the hard part.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like,
It's
I
the
mean,
customers.
Look at
They're
how bad
horrible.
this kid. He messed it up so bad for me today, and I feel bad for him. I'm not even mad at him. That's why I walked away quietly. I was just like, you just put it in the trash and go to the next sub. You're done.
Because
you're done here.
Yeah.
I feel like if you worked at like a mom and pop sub shop or like then like I used to work at a one-off Substantial in Miami, right? A lot of the customers were regulars
Yeah.
that went there all the time. You know what I'm saying?
And you'll get a rapport with them, and then you'll learn what they like. And I will tell you right now, Runji, the chat room is exploding with people that have hope for humanity just based on the way you carry yourself, how you talk to us, the fact that you know what a resume is, the fact that you sound very professional. Yeah, I'm impressed too. I don't think you're going to have it. In fact, I think that this job, I might be not picking up what Tom's laying down, but it sounds as if maybe you shot a little low on your job.
Also,
I think you can get a better job.
in the mom and pop sub shops, you get more tips.
You do.
And we used to stop using the register at a certain time and steal
You can pocket all that money.
and
yeah.
then steal the money.
Yeah.
And
You
so
can also pocket all the meat. You can pocket all the meat too. You just gotta have chilled.
Subway's got that good mayonnaise.
You
And-
gotta have chilled pockets.
And we used to go to the bar next door and fill up our 32-ounce styrofoam cups with beer.
Right.
Because the old man bar owner would let us do that. He'd
She's
trade
too
us
sweet
for
that,
subs.
though. She's not. I can tell.
and
she's,
and then we clean up at night and just get wasted. So a lot of things you can't do at the corporate sub shop.
Runchy, you're a good.
But that was the 90s when you could drink as a teen.
You're a good kid, right? To your parents and stuff. Like you don't get into trouble. I don't hear a troublemaker.
No, I mean, I'd say so.
Okay, yeah, I can hear it. You sound like you got your good head on your shoulders.
You're too good for this job,
Yeah, that's what I-
Brungy.
Yeah.
You're too smart. You went to a
Yeah,
job
you
fair.
Aim low. You aim low.
You're working a job where I feel like it's the bottom of the barrel, where you could do better than this.
How long does it take you to get to work? I'm just trying to evaluate what
Yeah,
is
the
the
benefits.
use of a 3-hour shift. You know what I mean? Is it even worth your time? Does it take you like an hour to get to work?
I live, I don't have a car yet, so I can walk there in, 20,
okay.
25.
That's
so
not bad.
nothing too bad. Yeah.
That's not too bad.
And so like basically you have it's your first job. Even with the small shifts, you're just learning. Your parents, they're teaching you like responsibility
Yeah.
and so it
This
doesn't.
is good.
What
Goes
is the
to
starting?
Ghost of Madu Buldo, just to pepper in something from the chat room, said, when I worked at Taco Bell at 16 years of age, I didn't steal any money, but I ate my weight in grilled stuffed burritos daily.
Well,
R.I.P.
again,
grilled stuffed burritos.
the corporate,
I'll mess with a grilled stuffed burrito.
too many cameras, too many, you have to use a register for every transaction. You know, it's like impossible to steal,
Yeah.
basically.
have
They've
it
got it
set up
locked
that
down.
way.
So
You can really only take advantage of the small families that are slaving.
yeah,
With the company, with the
Yeah.
with the sub shop that's been in the family,
Yeah.
those are the ones that you can really use
off,
and
yeah.
abuse.
Mine
yeah.
was owned by the mob, and it was
I would not be stealing from them.
no, it was
they were
money
stealing,
laundering.
so they didn't
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha.
It was money laundering, so it didn't matter. Like they
It
just
was a
came
front.
in. Yeah,
It didn't even matter
Who
what the-
cared? They were like
subs were the
$1,000 a week
byproduct.
short. It doesn't,
Yeah.
you know.
The sub quality did not matter. did
No,
it?
no.
The fact that you guys put your heart into it, I admire.
So I'm curious to what your starting hourly pay is nowadays at this particular establishment.
I'm pretty sure it's minimum wage, maybe $9, and then plus tips, but we don't get a lot of tips, unfortunately.
Yeah. Again, at this place, I feel like the most customers. First, they're miserable. They have to even eat there as an option. So they're not giving you any tips, and they're mad about how you shorted them on
You know
their
what?
pickles.
You're hitting on something I never thought of before, and you nailed it perfectly. I go into a lot of these type of restaurants that she works at, already angry that I'm eating there, so there's no way in hell I'm going to tip.
No, yeah. You're
We
right.
weren't
yeah.
allowed to accept tips at Subway when I worked there. I think they may have changed it now, but
Well, now they do that thing where you swipe your card and then they ask you on the thing.
at Subways?
10. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that's how they get the
didn't-
tips.
We were not allowed to do that.
Yeah. It's
Damn it.
They probably they just changed the credit card machine to have an option for do you want tip,
God,
and they
do we
put
do
10,
that?
15, 20.
Yeah, but
we
it's
do
like,
that
who
when
does
we-
it go to?
When we sell merch at events, do we have people tip out Eric or so we can steal
We
all
should.
his money?
Yeah.
I want to steal all of Eric's tips.
Hey, all you do is have to
Like
add
any
an
good
option.
business owner, right? You steal your
Yeah,
employees' tips. That's what you
right.
do.
And most people like myself, I'm too embarrassed to put 0 or anything,
Yeah.
so I just put 10% or whatever.
Oh my God! Don't give me a number. If you give me 35%, I'll hit the button. Like it's bad.
So let's talk about some of these corporate rules with toppings, because this is what I find the funniest, where they train you to put only a tiny amount of
Right.
pickles.
3 pickles per 6 inch.
Okay,
Yeah.
Samantha knows. So
Same with cucumbers. It's basically 3 or 6 for a foot
3
long.
pickles?
Yeah.
yeah.
Unless someone asks for extra pickles.
And they move. You're not even accounting for the fact that pickles float.
they'll pick up a tiny, not a handful, but a finger,
pinch. Yeah.
of onions.
Oh, yeah.
It's
And
less
then-
than my grandpa put in the side of his mouth when he's out on a tractor. You know, like it's a sprinkle. It's 2 onions.
And then sprinkle some slivers of onions on a big Italian BMT.
Massive.
And then you're like, can I get some extra onions? And they're like, yes, sir. And then they take a smaller sprinkle and then put 1 onion on one side. And it was
Yeah.
like, that's extra. One onion,
Here,
one
Runji,
sliver.
Runji, if you're wondering, I have audio from putting it's onions. Boing, boing, and can I have some more? Boing. That's it.
Yeah.
And then
That's
you
how it sounds.
And then
That's
you start doing the math, and you're like, wait a minute. I won't say the name of it.
No.
Whatever. Subway orders this by the cubic ton of onions.
And they'll throw half of it out at the end of the day.
So what is
I
it?
like their lettuces in like a big pillow bag.
This sliver of onion is costing Subway, I believe, less than the value of a penny.
Yes.
Micro pennies. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like 0.001% of a penny. And then this is going to save. I understand with thousands of stores, like it adds up, but it's absurd.
Runji, do you have those type of rules at your shop?
Oh, yeah. We had in the training videos, they have the lettuce down to an ounce. Like, you have to go to, like, I think it's like 0.75 ounces for lettuce.
How do you even measure that? 0.75 ounces. I don't even know
Again,
how to do
no.
that.
You again, it's
But
at
but there is a flip
end?
side to this, because sometimes at Publix, again, not to wing names around here, but there you get the overzealous new girl.
too
I
many.
had this one time in DeLand, and it's one of the most angry I've ever been in my life. I said, "Can I have some jalapenos?" And she's like, "Yes." And she put some jalapenos. Can I have a few more? I like it spicy. So then she proceeds to grab the entire bucket of jalapenos.
I'll show you, old man. You
Yeah.
want more jalapenos?
That's
No, but
aggressive
yeah,
jalapeno.
and then she just literally made my sandwich a jalapeno, like a mound of
I like
pickled
that
up, and then
move.
put the sandwich on top as the sandwich was the toppings. And I proceeded to take that wax paper, ball it up, and kick it like a soccer ball into the Deland Publix trash.
You're right. It's the Subway is too little.
Publix is too much.
They grab a
Publix onions is way too much. They put
yeah,
a whole onion on
You
there.
guys don't know what you're doing. Sometimes you don't cut them. It's like
it's a full onion.
I'm biting into a giant white golf ball.
They grab a handful of pickles and then they squeeze
The
it so the
juice.
juice comes out.
Well, that's a power move.
And then
That's a power move.
And I'm
That's
like,
the machine.
goddamn,
Yeah.
that's too many. Too many.
They're
Like,
squeezing it like you're squeezing your mortal enemy's heart as the blood runs down your forearm.
You're squeezing.
What are you, a Viking or a sandwich maker?
Condensing the pickles into a pickleball.
I don't want a pickleball.
Yeah, it's
By
too
the way,
much.
pickleball sucks. Worst sport invented.
So, let's talk about the.
Do you have a
the
man?
bread?
Oh.
So
She only has two kinds, wheat and white.
I remember like 20 years ago, the whole gimmick was like we bake the bread fresh every morning
In the store.
And so did you have to learn how to do that whole process, or did they dumb it down so that it just automatically comes in these
Yeah.
sheets and you just put
Bread-
them in
They're
there?
bread-
just
push them-
frozen sticks,
Yeah.
and you put them in the
Yeah,
oven.
you
to
put-
bake,
bot.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to cook my own bread, but they went through it on the videos. It's pretty basic. Yeah, you just got frozen sticks of bread, and you have to roll those in the herb and cheese mixture before you put that in the proofer, I think, if not the oven.
Yeah,
but that's
proofer.
about
She-
it.
No, you got it right. I think she knows what she's talking about. See, you learned more than you thought you did.
Is now again, I'm kind of leaning towards that you could probably get a job now, but the thing is, it's like walking distance. You don't have a car.
There's pros here.
And
This
it-
is easy money for her.
And this goes into like the internet. There's no really way to make that kind of money on the internet without a car,
Yeah.
or because like most of it's delivery services that are now like Uber or some sort of DoorDash or delivery.
Do you
ship.
like this job, or would you prefer like maybe a clerical job or a management position of some?
Well, there's no place probably walking distance that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, I do enjoy it, though. I have people that I know from school, so that makes it a little bit easier. It takes away some nerves.
Yeah, and you guys can screw off a little bit.
So, now.
You're like, hey, you knuckleheads, get back there and squeeze those pickles.
We'll talk to you in a couple months and see if you like it still.
The vinegar's not gonna squeeze itself out of those pickles. Get back there.
Now I could tell that she has a good,
She's smarty pants.
outlook and a positive outlook. I ran across another teen at Boardwalk Bowl over the weekend that did not. I ran across two teens, and I wondered if this was like
With my car.
Oh my God.
One was at Lowe's, and I was there. I'll tell the story this Friday because it involves me almost falling through my mother-in-law's roof, and her,
Oh, my God.
her entire ceiling collapsed.
Oh,
and
the
whole
orb.
thing.
Pabone, do a shirt where Tom has face paint and it's Juggalos.
The birds
Yes.
are screaming. So-
Do
so-
a Juggalos
Yes.
shirt.
And I had this little, basically, connector for her refrigerator line that went, and that's what caused the collapse or whatever. And I went there to Lowe's, and then I saw this teen wearing a Lowe's uniform, and she was looking up, and then I went to her, and I was like, hey, there's two different sizes of these. One's a quarter, one's 3/8. How do I know which size this is? And then she looked at me. She's like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
This is my
Yeah.
summer job.
And then I'm like,
That would be me.
and then I was like, of course you don't. Why did I even
No.
assume you did? Nobody knows. And then I was like, this is where like.
Shame on you for trying to fix it yourself.
But there used to be a time where someone like the employees at Lowe's knew something, and that time is gone.
Well,
like
we're in
no,
that-
of course they don't.
No, but
Why
we're-
would they?
We're in that new time when most people that are working jobs, like newly, like in retail jobs, where everyone's new.
Yes.
I mean, like the guy
High
making
turnover rate.
the guy making my sandwich. The reason he's so confused is I believe it was his first day, and
Yeah.
and you know what makes your first day really bad when you're wearing a hairnet and a mask and glasses.
Oh.
My God.
Now, I'm sure your parents, because they listen to the show, would hate this advice, but there's really no need to work extra hard or try to impress your manager or do above and beyond, because that will get you nothing, I believe. Now it's a good. Now in the future, it's good.
Yeah.
To work that way, because that will get you something. And
Right now, you're just feeling it out. You
But-
know, I think you can kind of learn how to be clever in this particular job. Cut corners.
In fact,
Yes.
the better you do and the more responsible you are, the worse it'll be for you.
Yes.
That's
because
called the
They'll
Andrea.
become dependent on you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the Andrea.
Because
Yeah.
Yep,
because
don't do that.
all the other employees around you, I just assume, based on percentages, are horrible.
Yeah.
And they don't care.
You can give 65% and you can be there 100%.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
and the
Yes.
manager of any
That's the best advice you can give.
Yeah,
honestly.
the manager of any of these places, they'll find the person that's inherently
exploit them,
the
yes.
hardest worker and just lean on you as
For everything.
heavy as possible until you finally say, I've
They
had
break
it,
you.
and yeah, I'll quit this. I'm done.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they'll just wait to
Now-
another responsible person.
Now,
that,
you can't give any more than that. Because Tom's right. If you go a little bit above and beyond, and you got to be willing to occasionally you're going to let something fall to the wayside, even if you know you can fix it, because it's not up to you to fix that entire sub shop.
Yeah. So you almost have to purposely
Pull back a little bit.
pull
yeah.
back and then show them that
Still
you're
do a
not
good
that
job.
into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still do a good job, but you don't have
I
to
don't
give
even
it a
think you,
hundo.
I don't even think you have to. I'm telling you,
Mediocre job.
They cannot find employees, you're all they got.
She'll know. She can feel the room.
So you
read the room.
Do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. They are not going to ever fire you. I mean, obviously, if you steal or do something
But
egregious,
even then.
but they'll probably give you like a slap of the wrist
Yeah.
or a warning.
Well, call your dad.
Yeah,
Right.
like to try to work it out, but there's no other employees, so now's the best time. It's the best time ever to F off in your job
You
and
can
not
also,
care.
I also feel like you can express your dominance on the dumber employees that have been hired at the same time as you, because you're smart. So some of these so-called friends you have that make the day go easier, why don't you lean on them and order them around and make them do stuff?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
become a manager without technically being a manager. You just need authority and confidence.
Yeah.
It works. Trust me. All you have to do is, yeah. Why don't you go over there and roll that bread in the
Yeah.
in the herbs and okay, yeah, I'll totally do it, Runchy.
Yeah.
You just gotta use.
yeah.
You're smart, and we can feel it. Use your smarts. Make sure that everybody knows you're smart by looking into your eyes. And
Yeah. I can already tell. By the way, if you're ever looking for a job and you just need to swing by, West End to pick up some gift cards over to Fairfield.
Post office.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
You need a card.
Yeah, as
though.
soon as you get a
God!
license,
Yeah, we got to get her. Give her the grip
As
truck.
soon as you get a card,
hold on, we got a card for her.
do?
Hold on.
email
What
me.
What if we give you a truck, company truck, and you're Runchy the teen, and you're just running all around
Oh
town?
no, she's too young. That thing will kill her. I don't want her to.
Yeah.
That
Take
thing's
that
barely
truck.
hold
What if we have
on.
Butler drive her around?
Oh, he'll kill her too.
the whole point
Yeah.
was one
No,
for the
he's
other.
doing it for free.
Oh, okay.
Volunteer.
I feel like you haven't worked there long enough to truly start hating it.
Yeah.
But it'll
She
come.
says she likes it.
She only worked 2 3-hour shifts though.
Yeah, but you always
right.
when you're a new employee. Listen,
She's just excited to have a job. I get it.
Right. What are you gonna buy with your first check?
I've had my eyes on some shoes, and then like half of it is going into savings, and then I don't know, just clothes or something like
What
that.
kind of
Crocs?
shoes? Are they Crocs? What kind of shoes are they?
No, they're Doc Martens.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. I saw some Doc Marten sandals over the weekend. They were pretty cool.
I saw those too.
Yeah, those are neat.
Nice.
every new job I had. I always went in there excited, ready to
I'm
work.
TC Van,
Yeah.
Daniel's new intern on the Monsters, and I'm happy to be here.
I did it with the radio. I did it with Home Depot, Champ Sports. I went in there.
This show.
The show.
Yeah,
I'm
this show,
excited.
yeah. This is the biggest one.
And then after a while, I started looking around and then just realizing that there was nothing like. What am I? I'm never gonna get a raise. I'm never going to. This is not gonna go anywhere. The only way it could go anywhere is if I got into the corporate system and somehow started going through management training. And then I looked at all the managers and they looked miserable. And then everybody around me looked miserable. And I was like, why would I want to be here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, This is garbage.
Runchy, how long? Runchy, how
Sorry,
long do
Runchy.
you plan on working there? When do you have to go back to school?
We go back in August, but I'm going to try to continue the job. I mean, considering my experience over the summer.
Okay.
But I want to make sure I can balance school and work, which I'm not usually good at doing. So.
Do we have your permission to check back in with you possibly towards the end of the month and beginning of August? And someone in the chat room said we should check her bitterness.
Yeah.
And check in with her and see how it's going. See if she,
Once you get cursed out by some old Karen.
Yeah,
a
if you
few times.
collect some stories, like some little anecdotes and things that happen, we can check back in with you and just kind of see how it's going. But I think you're gonna I think you're gonna be just fine. But I do think that this job, you're way overqualified.
I'll give you a couple pieces of submin advice. Every cop that comes in, try to give them free chips, Miss Vicky's, or whatever. Like, I know it's harder to give free stuff at
Give
a
them a
corporate
fist
place.
bump and then scream back the blue.
Let them
love that.
Let them fill their water cup up with Coke or what you know. Like,
Don't if they start getting
'Cause-
Dr. Pepper in the clear cup for water, just turn a blind eye to it.
Because you want to be in good with the cops.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to give the firefighters free stuff, but they can't do nothing for you. Believe me, they're going to show up.
Oh my God.
Seriously, they're going to show up at your house and put your house
Either
out.
way,
No
they
matter
gotta
what.
put it out. Yeah, they're not going to stand there and be, wait a minute, this is the guy that.
Now, the cops
Lenny
will
Barry.
recognize you locally if you ever get pulled over in the future and be like, oh, yeah, you were the
And you
girl
will.
that
You're a
gave me
teen
a
girl.
free.
You're going to get pulled over.
Although now with body cams, they can't let anybody go anymore. It's not the 90s.
Well,
so
they can-
that
Those
might
things
not help, you know.
fail quite often.
Yeah, you can turn it
so
off.
You're
I
fine.
mean, I turn my body cam off all the time.
And then second,
Don't use your fingernails to chop up the cheesesteaks. That's one. Tom
you
has
know,
stories
it's
about
not a
this.
hot grill.
Yeah.
You know.
You guys don't have a hot grill?
No, dude, it's just literally.
I don't even know where she
Toaster
works.
oven. Yeah. We didn't name the place.
No, we didn't name the place. I don't know where she works.
No, you know.
I do?
Yeah, we talk. Yeah, it's it's a place.
Oh, it's the used to be here?
Yeah.
That's gone now.
Yeah, it's yeah.
It's the way of the sub.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. It's the biggest sub franchise in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
You got the little paper cups of meat.
Yeah. So now your weekly schedule. What are we looking at? How
I'm
many
sure it changes
hours?
every day, every week.
So far, I've just been messaging a coworker because we get it every Tuesday. I reached out to my boss and asked for, because there's like a specific Subway app you can see it on, and I got no response. So I'm not sure yet. I'm just kind of going by each Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, you may think this is another misconception that I learned quickly once I got started getting into the workforce. Is that when I got there, I mistook the manager's experience with intelligence.
Yes.
because I was like, oh, this guy knows the whole thing. So like, this is the
God,
smartest
look at the way
person.
he puts his pickles on.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Then
Holy.
as you're there, you're like, oh, I
This guy's
understand.
This guy's the king of Southwest sauce.
He don't care either. He don't-
Yeah.
You know, like he's and then the owner will come in.
He cares.
The owner cares.
He cares.
But
He has to care. It's his baby.
but that's it. Whoever the manager, like the employees, do not care, and nobody cares, and you'll soon won't care either. And
Well, we'll see.
It'll come
We're
soon.
going to check back in with her, Sam. You have permission to reach back out to her, and we'll get her back on the books.
And again, if you do care, they'll just take advantage of you.
Yeah.
You can't
It's
care.
better to
Yeah.
not care.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit, yeah.
Every good employee that I've ever seen at a corporation that cared, including Daniel, got taken advantage of.
Oh, man.
And it was worse for them.
Yeah,
It was
it's
like-
way worse for us.
So, all right. You didn't get your first paycheck, right?
Not yet, no.
That's going to be the saddest part of all this.
Email us what you get in your first paycheck,
Yeah,
because we'd love to rail on that.
Because
yeah, it'll be fun.
with the limited,
be real sad.
Yeah, with the limited hours
The
and then the
taxes.
taxes and all that stuff, and then the Social Security and FICA, they
You
take out of
might
their,
not be able to get those duck martins.
Yeah. It'll be like $190. You'll be like, what?
Maybe. Oh my God, we should start doing this with kids that have bad jobs. We should challenge them to stick in it, and if they do or don't, then we can buy them the Doc Martens they want. We can be like dream makers. Quit your job now, and we'll buy the Doc Martens and just call it a
Give
wash.
kids the dogs.
Yeah, give kids the Docs.
Well, good luck with
Yeah,
everything.
good luck with
I
it.
I could just tell by talking to you, you'll be fine. You're responsible. You got a good head on your shoulders.
Yes, you'll be fine.
You just have to get past this small, like, SE part of work, which is the teen jobs.
Yeah. It's really the uniform's the worst part probably right now. That and the people being mean.
And then once you get into the regular workforce, you'll be fine, and then be miserable like the rest of us.
Hey,
So,
thanks for chatting with us and for having, I guess, your folks listen to the program. Do you ever listen? Are we dumb old men?
No, I listen to you guys. Like when we go to like Orlando and stuff,
Cool.
they'll play you guys in the car, and it's great.
Oh, you're sweet. We appreciate you lying to two
Yeah,
dumb
you're
old
good at
men.
lying. I like it.
What are what's hot now with the teens these days? It's all TikTok. I'm on TikTok. I see it.
What is he doing?
would you say that?
I think it varies, but I mean, yeah, you can't go wrong with TikTok. That's like curated exactly for you. Like, I'm pretty sure the app got in trouble for like literally like taking all of your data, but I mean, it's perfect. You can get lost on there for hours.
Yeah, Tom does, and he watches really inappropriate stuff.
And what about what do you watch on TV? Is it all YouTube, Netflix, whatever?
Yeah, I'd say majority of Netflix. The new Loki show is like my favorite right now. That's on Disney Plus, but that's a good one. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
Well, we'll talk to you soon, Runji. What do
Yeah,
we
Runji.
Yeah,
I got it
Runji.
right. Good job. Runji, we'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right. Great
see ya.
job today. You did great. All right. She's sweet.
Yeah. You could tell right off the bat.
Man,
like,
they're gonna break her. I know it.
No.
She's too good.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I
They'll
think she's
take
nice. I
advantage.
think she's kind of like. I think she's like that. Cool, kind of like an Andrea in the fact that my wife's very much like if things aren't going her way, she'll just like, well, can't do anything about it. Just kinda, I'll just leave.
Well, she'll leave though. She'll organize.
But
another...
I don't think that's going to happen. I think she's going to try her hardest to blend in and not get taken advantage of. But you could hear that, right? You could hear that she'd be responsible and do everything, and then they'd eventually be leaning on her.
Oh yeah,
You can hear that.
Yeah, she's already more responsible than her manager, who's
Yeah.
not responding to her
Yeah,
about
yeah,
a
yeah.
Like
schedule
if that
issue.
were
like,
if that were an interview, for a job,
Right.
And it basically kind of was. I'd hire her as an intern. She sounds better than some of the people that I even had as interns when I was at the radio station.
Oh yeah. The fact that she
I always went for
cares.
girls. Loved having girls as interns because they're detail oriented. Normally they're not screwing around. Here's one. Normally they didn't go downstairs and smoke the whole time.
Yeah.
I loved having girls intern because they're cleaner. Like, I'm sorry if that's a bad stereotype or a bad thing to say, and we didn't get a lot of girls because radio is typically like a male business. And when we got you, I was like, oh my God, thank God. Always on time, had a notebook, write stuff down. You still do that.
yeah.
Girls are more responsible.
They're just better
But
for interns. I mean,
It
they're not better at I guess they can be better at a lot of things, but just off the top of my head, not better at siring children. But can be.
So when you get your first job and start working and get that paycheck, and
I remember the feeling. It was cool.
and there's something that everybody needs to learn that responsibility, but it does beat you down.
Yes.
And
Crushes your soul.
and it crushes your soul, and you start getting
I worked this hard for this little.
Yeah.
My God.
yeah. And
Well, the
it's
explanations
hard to get through
never
that.
made any sense. And
No.
they actually still don't. I'm talking
No.
to you, Bernie. But, I mean, like, even when my dad sat me down with my first paycheck from Volusia County, I was a soccer linesman for the Parks and Recreations Department.
Okay.
And the check wasn't big, but when you're going through there and my dad's explaining to me all these things, it doesn't really make
Compute.
any sense.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of, like, he would say, okay, this one's for FICA and this one's this, here's the tax, like, coming out. And I'm like, well, I don't know what any of that means.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
even as I sit here, I'm not sure I do. I'm not sure I could compartmentalize and go like, oh, I know what that's going to,
Right.
and I vetted it, and I know
Yeah,
that it's going
right.
there. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Can
just
you
kinda-
fix I-4 with my taxes?
It's kind of just doing its thing, and there's a lot of money that comes out. And I remember as a kid, it probably makes, and I get what I'm saying. I understand it more now. but not that much. You know, not enough to like 40 years worth more or 35 years
Right.
worth more. Not really.
I also feel like nowadays it's a lot easier for kids to save and understand like investing in their future and stuff. They got apps that will do it for you and
Yeah.
like different things that
Yeah.
will like literally there's an app that you put in all your bills and then it I guess works with your bank account or whatever. You know, it just literally categorizes everything for you so you don't have to do as much for you.
Right.
Because I don't remember nobody ever told me how to save money or how credit cards worked or, you know, like,
Things that you really need to know in life.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
No, like how to prioritize bills and not overdraw your account. Like, it literally just did it horribly for 10 or 15 years before it finally worked itself out. And, like, that's a lot of bad at life that I feel like you could skip now with the technology of apps and things that will do things for you. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, if you know you're going to be bad at saving or paying your bills or figuring out how much money you have to spend, apps will do it for you now.
Yeah.
Which is a lot better than trying to be responsible for yourself or do it like, oh, let me put everything in certain accounts or whatever.
I've brought this up. This will be like probably the 100th time I've brought this up. But DeLand High School, Mr. Snow, that class, I mean, it was cleverly like cloaked as like a social studies class or humanitarian, you know, like or what, like political science or something like that. You know, but it was really him teaching us things that made us like smart, capable kids, like how to fill out a tax form, how to balance a checkbook,
people need to learn
how to
that.
use a deposit slip and how to write yourself a check to cash, like dumb stuff. But I realize you don't have to do that now, but it kind of set me up because when I went to college,
well, at least
in
it
St.
taught you something.
Yeah, he taught us how to put together a resume. He taught us how to put together like normally the things that can seem a job application. You know, the things that are like kind of intimidating when you've never done them before because you're like, this is weird. This is adult stuff. And he went through all of it.
The only thing I did in high school that the like teacher helped us do or whatever was register for the draft. In the social studies. Or whatever. Did they still do that?
Like, you know, I
don't
did,
think so.
I did.
Like we had
my dad,
everybody in the class had to fill out and register for the draft.
No, I didn't do that in school. My
That makes
dad,
you sound old as hell. 'Cause I don't think anybody in my
did.
class did. Yeah, but you're older than him.
I know, but my dad came over and he's like, "You got this in the mail, boy." It was selective service or whatever, and you sign it all up and send it in. I guess.
I think
I still don't remember really what it was. I just know it had a bunch of flags on it, and my dad wanted me to do it. And I did it.
Do they still do that in high school?
I don't know.
I
That's
don't
a great
know.
question. I don't know.
did not hear about that at all when I was in high school. So.
Well, you.
I remember that.
you're
I
a
remember there
girl,
was a
so-
small
yeah,
discussion.
but I had guy friends.
Yeah,
But there was
yeah.
a tiny discussion about what it meant, and I think it was one of those things where it was like, don't talk about it, 'cause, like, if they ever made the draft again, that's what it's for, right? Then you get drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember even in the 90s, everybody was like, we got nuclear bombs. There'll never be a draft. Like, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we weren't
Well, they
even worried
always
about
said
it.
that, but
Yeah,
they
yeah.
still did make you sign up.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I
you
mean,
still have to do it. It's
they didn't
mandatory
go,
when
"Hey,
you're
we-"
18.
They didn't say like, "Hey, we got nukes. It'll never happen," or "We're drones now." They said, "No, you have to sign up."
Yeah. This is pre-drones.
Yeah, everybody's saying. Melissa in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. She says, "My son is 26 and he had to do it."
That's crazy.
I don't know if they still. I don't know, but I do remember. I know exactly where I was sitting. I knew it was in my mom's old house. I knew it when my dad brought it in and had the discussion with me. I remember, like, having a moment to talk about that. Yeah, I remember that. That's
I
weird.
didn't talk to anyone. Literally, like our
Fill it
civics
out.
teachers, like everybody filling out, and we were like laughing. And then I think I put Donald Duck. Anyway, all right, let's take a break. We'll be right back with more corporate time.
Eric Pabone is here.
How you doing, Pabone?
I'm doing really, really well.
It's good to see you, man.
It's good to see
I have
you guys.
missed seeing you in person.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I'm over Zoom. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
nothing against Zoom. Thank goodness
Look,
we had the Zoom,
it
right?
did us well
It
when
did
we
us
needed
well.
it, yeah.
But if we have the opportunity to see you in person, I would rather do that. I got a hug from Pabone. It's been too long. You look great, and welcome back.
Thank you.
Before we talked to Pabone, we were having a discussion on Twitch, and you could listen to all our between show discussions and everything.
The secret
during the
content.
breaks and behind the scenes.
And all you have to do is download the Twitch app, and every time we go live, which is Monday through Friday, it alerts you, and then you could hit audio only and just listen to the audio. And we record all the shows, and then in between shows, sometimes we're just talking about whatever.
Yeah, just
so
go to Twitch, Tom and Dan Live, same on YouTube, but it's your way to watch and interact with the show.
And Daniel was talking about troll and how some troll on Twitter was mad about us crowdfunding the studio.
Well, it wasn't that I was mad about
5
trolls.
years ago. How long ago was it?
6 years ago.
6 years
I'm not
ago.
really mad. I'm trying to get better at not letting things like that bother me. This one was just a weird one because his way of deciding that he had had enough with us was when we crowdsourced our studio with our founders program where people paid, I believe it was $250, and then they got a lifetime membership, and then we were able to use that amount of money to get the carpet, the equipment, new computers, this computer I'm editing on right now, lights, soundproofing, all the things that you need to build sort of a pseudo-professional studio.
Well, what this guy doesn't understand is when you like something, you want to support it. Like, you're not strong-arming people into supporting something.
Well, yeah, but you just put it out there, and you're like, "Hey, we're not begging for like, hey, donate to this."
Right.
We're
That's
just
the
like,
thing
"Hey,
is we
buy
didn't
this."
gouge anybody. We said, "Hey, we want to."
Yeah, you get the plaque, you get the studio tour. Like we offered, so you get free Beanie membership for life, and then that was the thing.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah,
up
it's not
to
like
the
you
people
didn't
to
get
buy.
anything in return.
Yeah. It wasn't donate to our cause. It was, hey, you want to buy this founders membership, and this is what you got, and we delivered it, and we did every studio tour, and then now I just did the math. It was like 7 years of $35 a year, and that's paid for. So we got to be coming up on it soon.
Listen, I would have done it if my wife would have let me, at the time.
Right.
But
Well, this guy was older, I will say, and he looked to be a traditional radio listener.
Yeah, it's a radio troll.
Yeah, he looked like a traditional radio troll. And I just thought it was odd. It is interesting to say that your breaking point with something in entertainment was because other people donated to it, so they
Other people wanted to support you.
so they could go independent and not have to work for a major broadcasting company. I'm not sure I understand why that would anger you so much. Would you have preferred that we stay working for the company?
That's some old head stuff, man.
Well,
It's weird. Or
Yeah.
maybe, to go with what Tom's saying, he's just trolling.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is that we went through a transition where when we first started doing this, everybody's like, "You're crazy! You can't make money doing this. There's no way to make a business out of this. This is stupid. Like, don't do this." The people were 100% like skeptical that this was even a business because it didn't exist.
Nobody wanted us to do that.
But then now, I think the perception has swung so far where now if you're a we are not social media influencers, but I guess under the technical description we are.
This guy thinks we're like Rogan size, doesn't he?
This
That's what I'm
poor
saying.
man.
I think
podcasts
so.
and like these guys, because it's just being reported on the news, like this YouTuber makes $15 million a year.
Okay,
and then
all
now we're being lumped into all
This
these
is
people that are rich.
I'll take this. This is one
It's
of
funny
the
because-
first times you've ever said something that I'm actually like, I'm into it.
So-
this guy's, you're smart.
It started off where it's like, this doesn't exist. There's no money in this. And now it's like everybody in this world is somehow PewDiePie. It's like, or the guy, Dr. Disrespect or whatever. Whoever
right.
else is making an insane amount of money. And
The Paul brothers.
Well, not just you
that
guys
is not the case.
Experience that thing where, like, as you grew more successful doing this, like the punk rock thing, where people were on board at the
Sellouts.
beginning, and
Yep.
then once you guys have a nice studio, you're very well known.
We got sellouts. Yeah, we get a lot of that.
Because that I don't get either, man. Like that.
Well, it doesn't make any sense when they actually broke away from a corporation and didn't sell their souls to a corporation. They're actually trying to independently do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, with more popularity, I think so.
And it's
Nobody likes to see you comfortable, right?
I guess that's the thing.
But also,
That's sad.
I think I don't even know what the perception is, but it's probably far less than what people even. I mean, but it's probably swings all the way. Like people are like, "Oh, this is this. They make this much money or this much money." It's like we're grinding just like any small business.
Yeah.
Every dollar in advertising we make is a grind and is like a grind to make work, and we grind it all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's all we're doing. Like if we stop grinding, I mean, we could be 2 weeks from being out of business.
Yeah.
Like it's that just like any small business. Like if something happened, like
why do you think I was so concerned about this?
We stopped producing content.
Yeah.
Like we'll be in bad shape. Like even a month of things start rolling. We start having to.
We
not
have no
be able to pay
coffers
employees.
to prop
Yeah.
us up. You know,
But that's at every small business. Like you have enough, and like I don't know anything about business. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I've
But,
started
I have no
I've started
idea.
to think that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got to give yourself a little more credit.
But just recently, he
But it's
doesn't,
funny,
he
I was-
doesn't like it when I give him credit.
I was telling you guys during the break that I get like this small microcosm of that. Where like having done artwork for you guys, having done artwork for Sam, people will assume that I'm doing better than I am in art. You see these little like measures of success, whether it's this or the Orlando Weekly thing. And
Congrats again.
Thank you. And people make that assumption like,
Yeah.
you're
like it equates big money.
Yeah. I'm like, no. We're still struggling.
Yeah. Just like everybody. But then it's all subjective too. So it's like, hey, we're not doing that well, but that's subjective. If someone saw like, oh well, yeah, you are compared to me. Like,
right. Compared to me, I'm suffering.
You're never gonna make anybody truly satisfied with any answer because everybody's gonna look at any amount, either a lot or a little, based on their own subjectivity, so
100%.
it's but anyway, it has to be something where we get lumped into other social media influencers, and when everybody hears these news stories about these millionaires and like that's also the very tippy top too. And just like everything in news, it's being skewed by stories of the anomalies. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody else is grinding their ass off trying to, like Pabon, you're an artist. You're making what's the guy?
You're Banksy.
Yeah.
We hang
Because
out,
they hear Banksy stories
Right.
and they're like, oh, this guy's getting $2 million a piece that he's doing, and because that's the only thing they hear about artists is
Well,
Banksy.
no one really thinks I'm rich because I'm Puerto Rican, so I have that going for me.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they
yeah.
see my car and they see my flat brim, they're like, "Hey, he's doing okay."
Yeah. Should I stop wearing the flat brims?
No, listen, I'm team dressed like a middle schooler.
Yeah,
all day long.
You see, I got gibbets for my Crocs now.
I love it, man.
Me and my daughter, we went Croc crazy. I got a manatee, I got a Peloton bike, Super Mario, a controller, a gummy bear, a beer that says since 1976 or 1776, a taco, and then one that says dog person.
Is this
How cute is that?
But is this
How cute am I, Pabon?
Is this the new
You're adorable.
old man dress though?
Yeah.
Because think about it, like
Correct.
Every old man in every generation just continue to dress the same way
Yeah.
they always have,
Pabon
right?
and I now dress like Ross, and it's fun. It's fun. He was right
Yeah,
the whole time.
I know.
And so
Black
this
socks.
Yeah.
this style
go.
is looked at by the teens of like, oh, that guy's dressing like an old man. We're just dressing like we did in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
100%.
All right.
Although the tall teen did compliment my Crocs today. As I was leaving, he goes, "Hey, I like your Crocs." I go, "Hey, thank you." Oh, I forgot I'm wearing Kelly's ice cream socks. Too.
But you know what?
Channeling my inner Ross.
I wrote this whole bullying post on our group text, not a post, so a text, but about I bet the same teen complimented your dad on the visor with the gray hair sticking out.
He
It's
would've,
passive
yeah.
aggressive. He's making fun of you.
No, he wasn't. No,
Yes,
Butler
he
was
is.
there. This guy was authentic.
Sometimes you get a hit. And,
Yeah,
and
I got a
you're
hit.
not trying, but sometimes it happens to me too, man.
There's no way that teen thought
People
your
that have no-
tie-dye Crocs were cool.
People that have no joy in their life have no joy in their life, and they'll never find it.
Oh, you know what I encountered
He's
that
like,
was
nice
weird?
shoes, old man.
No, he didn't. He said he actually said it like
Yeah,
this.
he's bullying you.
Perfect. No, he said it like this. He goes, "Hey, man, I like your Crocs." I go, "Oh, wow, thank you." And then I yelled,
Tom's
"Did you
not
hear that,
convinced.
Butler?"
Tom's not convinced, even though all of us have told him that teens are actually into Crocs.
Yeah,
Like, it's trendy.
I get so
For
much
whatever reason.
heat on my feet. All the kids love my feet.
So, Pabon, what's been going on with you lately?
A lot of travel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in Minnesota for a week, and I encountered like this weird reverse racism when I was at the airport.
Uh-huh.
So it's like it wasn't negative. They have these communal tables where you eat, which is great during a pandemic, by the way. And this couple was staring at
I've
me.
never been a fan of family style.
Ugh, it's the
No.
worst. But I like in my periphery, I felt them staring at me, and finally, after a few minutes, the guy was like, "Hey, I don't see color." And I was like,
What?
"Yeah." It's like, "Thanks, man. I think." They ended up,
But
they bought. But I will say
tell
this.
you're brown. Listen,
normally
Just out of nowhere?
Out of nowhere, but they bought my meal. They bought me drinks.
Oh, that's some white
guilt.
guilt.
Yeah.
White guilt
White guilt.
drinks.
God.
Clap, 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 clap.
I
Yeah.
wish I got some white guilt.
No, you
It was
don't.
the first.
No, you don't.
I've never
I want a free lunch.
encountered it. Yeah, a free meal. I mean, it was like $130 bill that the
Oh
guy
my God.
paid. After all
Goddamn,
the,
what are you eating at the airport?
Jeez Louise.
he kept ordering Tito's. Tito's is like $14 a
Yeah.
shot.
Right.
Like,
He
ugh.
likes Tito's because his name
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Tito.
Exactly. It's like, you like Tito's,
Look at
right?
you drinking
Yeah.
tequila, huh?
Yeah, you do.
What do you want? Cerveza, cerveza.
What were you doing in Minnesota?
What do you do?
My day job. I'm a biomedical engineer in my day job.
What?
Yeah.
He actually is rich, but not from his
No,
art.
no. Not rich from that
It's a
either.
weird job for artists to have.
Well, he's a racist biological engineer.
So now I have no want to ever go to Minnesota. It seems like
Mall of America, bro.
I
That's what
I
everybody
hate
said.
malls, so
Yeah.
it's like there's nothing in it for me.
Oh man, I went to the Florida Mall this weekend. I got to tell you, I'm back in.
What?
It's fun, man. Oh my God, the music was great. The smells, Cinnabon wafting through the air. The Croc store.
So
I was just dancing to the Florida Mall.
They still have that thing where you put the coin in, you watch it go
Yeah,
around. And,
yeah,
okay, I'm
yeah.
into.
any redeeming parts of Minnesota that I don't know about?
No,
Okay, yeah.
No,
so
no.
it
How, what was
sucks.
the,
Not
what
a
were you
one.
dealing with weather-wise?
it was fine. It was, it's still hot everywhere else. It's just
Yeah.
not as
Well, the West has been
intense.
getting it, right? Like, we're used to it. But,
Yeah.
Seattle and places that aren't are like record highs, right? And it's really kind of
Yeah.
screwing them up.
Well, the problem is when you have no air conditioning because normally it's cold and there's no need for it. So there's tons of houses built with no AC because
yeah.
they're like, we got a little bit. There's like 3 weeks of heat in August that we have to get through, but no reason to put in a whole AC unit
just
in the house.
tough it
for
out,
that.
man.
Yeah. But now it's like 120 outside and you have no AC. And then you die in your house. Seriously, that's what happens.
From our Twitch chat room, Ghost of Manu Bull says, I went to Minneapolis and visited Larry Flint's Hustler Club after I went to a Metallica concert.
Interesting.
That sounds great.
That's a much funner sounding trip
Can
than
you
mine.
go? Somebody mentioned Paisley Park. And,
Oh, that would have been cool.
yeah, that would have been cool. You could have hit up Prince's house. And I believe, can you take a tour now?
I think so.
Do they have it set up to take a tour?
Although that's kind of morbid since he died in it, right?
I'd tour it. I'd go through it. Did Elvis die in Graceland?
He died on the toilet.
Yeah.
In Graceland?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's okay to go there.
Can you see the toilet, or did it block that?
I don't
bathroom
think I think those places. There's just a lot of areas that you just don't get to see.
out? Okay.
They have like the one room,
If
like
I'm
the
going
jungle.
to Graceland, I want to see the toilet.
Like they
you know.
have the. Did you curse?
No.
Okay.
He said, if I'm okay.
Oh,
I know,
okay,
me and
yeah,
you looked at
no.
each other like,
So
what did he
producer
say?
James, producer
I
James.
know the drill.
Yes, you can buy tickets. There's different tours that you can take. There's the Ultimate Experience for $160, the VIP Experience for $85, and the Paisley Experience for $45.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna go, you go for the big. What do you
Yeah.
get for the 160? What
For
am
the
I?
160 Ultimate,
What am I getting at Paisley Park? Prince's
it
home.
includes the VIP Experience plus exclusive access to additional spaces and exhibits
See?
as a more immersive way for fans to tour. Please note that the Ultimate Experience often sells out. Studios A, B, and C access, a private screening of exclusive video footage in Paisley Park's editing suite, a special audio playback session in the control room of Studio B. Visitors on the Ultimate Experience will also have access to view archived items not displayed. So yeah, you get
That's
to listen to
cool.
some stuff in the studios, tour the studios.
Where he did all his magic. Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
it's pretty
Light beverages will be served.
Yeah, I would definitely do that. I would definitely do the give me
2.5
the big dog.
hours.
Has anybody here been ever on a tour that they were interested in and not been like, oh my God, when is this thing going to be
Yes.
done?
Oh man, I love tours.
The underground tour at Seattle was
You
awesome.
got to change your life. You're so negative. You're more negative than me, and I thought that I had the crown.
I was just saying, like, how good our
I
tours.
enjoyed our Alcatraz tour we were on. And you
the
were less
Hunger Games
negative.
tour, that was 2 hours.
You were less negative then on our San
No.
Francisco trip, and I thought I saw a little bit of fun in your eyes.
No, but I was you walk like the Alcatraz tour, all right? You walk. There's a group, and then there's the one person that's like going above and beyond because they're hopefully like they get some tips from whoever is there at the end of it, which they
tour
never
guide,
do.
you mean?
The tour guide, yeah.
There's just a guy that wants tips.
Obviously, this guy doesn't take any tours.
So, but it's like he walks you through. You're standing there, and they're like, "This is this." It was like at certain point, you're like, "Oh God, when is this going to end?" No, you're interested in the whole time. You're like, "Oh wow."
Okay, if I were getting
What
a
is
tour,
it? You like
if I
it?
were getting a tour of Prince's house, and I'm walking through Studio A, B, and C, where he made the hits,
Right.
where he made million album selling albums. I would be into it, yeah. I would not be like, oh God, this Prince stuff, I'm so sick of it. Let's get out of here, go to the Mall of America.
Well, I'd only
Like,
go if you're
why-
a Prince fan.
I'm not
why would
saying it out loud.
Why would I be in a
It's
tour
in
that
my
I
head.
hate? Why do you do so many things that you hate?
I just get into it like because I'm the people I'm with are like, let's do this tour, and then I just say, yeah,
You
okay.
need to stand up for yourself and be like, no, I'm not doing that because
Well-
I'm miserable.
Well, no, because if I don't do anything, then you're like you have to do something. But it's never
Well,
that
Why don't
good.
you do things you enjoy?
Well, would not
there is
doing
none.
that? You don't know if you've never not taken the tour. Maybe not taking the tour is what you've been waiting for your entire
Right.
life.
Well, there's nothing to do. Like I have to just do stuff.
What do you stand outside? So we're all inside Paisley Park, and you're just outside. What, on your phone?
Well, no, everybody's just doing stuff until they die, right? So, all right,
Man, you had a rough weekend apparently. Because now you're just
Everyone's just doing stuff till they die.
No, seriously.
That's his idea of
How
life.
excited are you at the tour? Like, I mean,
Well, what is exciting to you? Like, give me.
Yeah, what moves
I
your
don't
needle,
know.
man?
Give me the other thing. So the option
What
was.
moves your needle,
I,
man?
I don't know. There's not. I mean, I'm trying to think of anything that.
Doing stuff is overrated. People are
They
like,
know it. The Twitch people know. They
no,
know
they're
they're
making
with
fun
me.
of you, right? No, they're not.
I'm just saying the tour of Alcatraz, the tour of Prince's house, all the
Graceland,
tours,
yeah.
the ghost tours, every
Ooh.
tour I've
Or
ever
you-
been on.
you
I'm
went to the
wandering
caves,
with a bunch of people.
The catacombs in Paris. That's a tour, right?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
kind of winning me over, man. I think I'm gravitating towards your next.
See how
pick.
come with me, Babone? You know, it's all the same.
that boat.
Don't let him do that.
I went to the tour of the catacombs in Paris, and then
That's history.
the tour of some sort of caves in Colorado. And
Yeah, but
then-
how many skulls? After 20 skulls, you've seen some skulls.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, like, it's. I don't know. I think you guys are being harsh. I think you're both being harsh. I think you're being affected by it, which now I'm
Yeah.
seeing
Don't
your true
let him pull
colors.
them in.
I feel it.
I
I
see
feel
your true
it.
colors. You're easily
Listen,
influenced.
it is what it is. I'm just saying it never blows my shoes off. Or I'm like, this
I
was
don't,
an
honestly,
awesome
man,
tour.
I don't think anything blows your shoes off. I don't think there's anything I could do.
What?
There's nothing
No,
I
I
could
don't.
do
Well,
that
have
you
you-
would be like, oh my God, I'm so happy. Like, I don't think you're that guy.
But have
that
you
doesn't-
guys been on a tour where you're like, that was freaking unbelievable?
No, I'm going further. I'm saying I don't think there's anything I could do, nothing, that you would look at me and the reaction I would get would be like, the needle's pegged. I don't even know if you can get there. I don't know if it's capable to get
think
you
you're
to a
dead
point
inside.
where you're excited about something.
Well,
Like where you're like, oh my God!
All right, what if you
Yeah.
open up the door to the studio and parked right there with a big red ribbon on it was a stand-up jet ski?
No.
Would I see like
You'd be like, what the hell's
elation?
this? I don't need that. I don't have time for
No,
this.
no,
It's terrible. I hate it now. I hate everything. I don't have time for ride that. Who spent the money on that? Mother!
hold on. You're spinning in this. I hate everything. I'm not saying I hate everything. I'm not even saying I hated the tours. I'm just saying it's not that good. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't. It's just a
But that's
medium-
probably because you didn't care about what the tour was about. So
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to find out. What do you like that we could spin into a tour that you might actually enjoy the entire tour?
And a lot of the tour has more to do with
Okay,
you than it
all
does
right,
about
hold
the
on.
tour guide. Like when
Okay.
I went to school, when I went to college, the reason I excelled at college is because I was in charge of me. It wasn't the teachers. It wasn't anything else. It was up to me to get out of that what I need to get out of it. When I go into a tour, I'm not going there for the guide. Whether the guide's there or not, I'm getting something out of this.
I guess if like they toured Travis Pastrana's house or something because I
Okay,
seen it so
okay.
much.
Still
and they're
alive,
like, this
for
is the
Christ's
phone
sake. It's not
panther.
even historical. There's nothing there. Motorcycle dork.
And then I got
That's
to
what he's
And then
into.
you'd
That's
be,
what
around,
he's
you'd be in
into.
Abe
Yeah,
Lincoln's
I'd be-
cabin, and you'd be like, "That sucks." But you're Travis Pastrana. You see one dirt bike, and it's moving the needle. That I don't believe that.
Well, it's something I'm into. I'm trying to help you guys out with trying to tell.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
But I wouldn't go out of my way to go there. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
there's no way I'm traveling to Maryland and then like flying and like going and like even if they offered it to me, I wouldn't I wouldn't get on a plane and go up there for it. You know what I'm saying? There's no tour that's really been awesome that I've
You
got.
said the same thing even on the side-by-side trip that you did with your wife. You were like, well, once we got into it, after about a time,
What?
so you like...
That was more because there was a time where we thought we
Is
were
it
going to
your
fall off
ADD?
the cliff.
I
Like
think
it
it's-
doesn't hold your attention, so
I-
you're just over it quickly?
That's it. I think that's it.
It's just
If only he had ADD about his questions.
Like I've gone on the tours of the cathedrals, all the
You've seen some good stuff.
and it's just
You know
all
what?
like
Now
ah.
I'm mad because you get to see cool stuff
And he
on
hates
tours
it.
and you hate it, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah, like he's
That's me, my people stuff. I
He's
like
done Sistine
tours. I like
Chapel.
museums. I like,
Haven't you done the Sistine
Yeah,
Chapel?
yeah, we went on the tour of
He's
the,
done the
no,
Louvre?
They,
He's done the Louvre?
What's the one that
Crazy.
burned down? I got to see that before.
Yeah, he's seen some really powerful and amazing
Notre
stuff.
Dame.
And he doesn't care about it.
Was it because I'm doing the tour like this is the big piano. Here's the thing. And then it's not like all right, and they're like this thing is this old. I'm like all right.
But I kind of love that. I love the idea that you're seeing like the wonders of the world, and you're
and
like,
hates it.
I don't hate it.
Not that impressive.
hold
Not that
on.
impressive.
There's a comedy
It's-
part of me that
it's
likes that too,
fine.
but I also fall into everybody around here likes to say I'm the crazy one, and then like lately I'm beating this new drum about hold on a second, we got it wrong for the first 11 years of the show. The crazy the whole time is this guy because he can't enjoy anything.
I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm okay. It's. I'm just saying it's not that great. Like I didn't like. When it was done,
You're
I was,
Shania Twain. That don't impress me much.
yeah.
when it was done, I was
So
just
you
like,
got
all
the
right, let's get
Mona
a beer.
Lisa. So what?
Like,
yeah, it's
Don't
smaller in
impress
person.
me much.
like the
That's
first
the next song you gotta write. Dan.
the beers
It'd
I
be too
had
easy.
were at the local place. I had more fun drinking than the damn Notre
you're
Dame
just an
tour.
alcoholic.
Oh, okay, well, I'm just saying it's
Nothing moves the needle like alcohol.
There is a word for that. Yeah.
it's not
Oh man, just do brewery tours.
it's
then.
fine. I've seen
I walked across the street. I got a tall boy. I'll take that, Notre Dame.
like we flew a helicopter to the Mendenhall Glacier with me and my
That's
papa.
pretty
By the way,
awesome.
my
That's
papa
awesome.
not that impressive. That's probably where I got it from.
Story. It's cold.
Me and my papa, our arms are crossed, and my wife taking pictures. And then we landed on the Mendenhall Glacier in Alaska, and then we got out, and then we were walking, and then me and papa were standing there.
We're leaving?
We're like,
All right, let's get out of here. It's been 5 seconds.
yeah. We looked around. We're like, all right, this is it's a glacier.
some ice.
It's a glacier, and they's telling us like it moved this way. It's a melting. We've ruined it. They were like, all right, and then we're just standing there like, all right. And then and then we're dry. I'm like, this is $600 a person. I'm like, was that worth it? You know what I'm saying? That's what goes through my head. I was like, is that
think-
that good?
Let me ask you this. Do you think, because if we're going to try to get to the origin of it, do you think that some of it comes from a place of business and gambling in that you're trying to weigh out the perceived value put in and value getting out? So you're almost like, in a weird way, when you take the tour or when you take the helicopter to the glacier, you put money in and you're gambling to see what you get out of it.
Yeah.
And what you're getting out of it isn't a big payday. It's like,
It's probably like the rest of my life. My expectations are super high.
I do
that
that
I
a
think
lot.
I'm gonna have some sort of
Yeah.
magical, life-altering experience. So that
Yeah.
even when my kids are
So
gonna
you've
say
been
something,
burned.
well, no, it just never. Nothing's that.
You
Really,
Gotta, you got to
know what I'm saying?
temper expectations,
Well,
man.
but that's what I'm saying. Like
You're gonna get some good Instagram photos out of it, and
he doesn't care about that. though.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
That's all.
No.
What's the magical, life-altering experience of the tour? Most things are pretty much like.
Yeah, no, I got you, because the
You
exact
know?
opposite of this, I feel
That's
like,
all right.
is our good friend Jana Banana. Mm-hmm. Because like every experience she goes
She makes the
on-
most out of everything.
Yeah, well, I think she tries to get every drop at, like, if she takes a tour, it could be a tour of this Publix over here, and she's gonna like find something out of that she's like, oh, I'm glad I did that because I learned this. It's almost
Yeah.
like she tries to be in the moment and mindful.
I wish I was wired more that way.
Yeah, I think I'm a little in the middle.
Yeah.
I do like a tour though, but I like history and stuff like that. I know you don't care about any of that
No,
because
I do. I like the history of it is interesting to me, and I like all the the stories and whatnot. I'm just saying it's never over the top. Like I'm never like fist pump. Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen you do that. Though. That's my point. Is that, like,
of course,
like that was my point. It's like your son was born. Like this fun. Like I don't see like. You like freaking out, you're not emotional. You're not an emotional person, so maybe it's not the tour. Is all I've been saying this whole time.
Yeah, I think that's it.
You're just not.
I'm broken inside.
No, I mean we all are. I mean,
Anyway, Pabon. So let's talk art. So my sons, and I know I keep bringing this up because Tommy really into drawing and like. He seems to gravitate towards art more than anything else over sport or whatnot. I'm teaching Max how to box, and then Tommy is not interested in it. But
I like it.
Right now,
You get some gloves.
what's the best thing to buy my son to perpetuate his artistic gene that he's got?
Like a fully blown iPad Pro and an iPad Pencil. No,
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm just
Get
kidding.
the most expensive.
Yeah, you gotta get the most expensive illustration.
Well, the thing is, everything's digital now. Like, it took me longer than most artists to transition over to digital because I'm old school.
Starting him early in the digital
Yeah.
aspect is probably the most beneficial for him because in
Learn
the future it's going to
Adobe.
be all that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Digital. Big.
And so that would be probably the thing. It's like get him some sort of way. And the digital, like how drawing on like a
wanna
iPad
try
Pro
it?
or like how difficult or weird is that compared to a regular?
It's tough at first if you're used to the way papered pencil feels.
Yeah.
Like for me, it was super, super weird to make that transition.
Here,
They
try it.
sell stuff where you can put like a film over it to make it more paper-like, and so yeah, there's like a learning curve there, man. Now, I didn't want to make this too like radio gimmicky, so I decided not to ask this of you, but maybe next time. I would love for you to sit there and draw Dan, and I would love for Dan to draw you, and I want to see what it looks like and sort of utilize it in the next design.
Well, that was quick. You can't put that on Twitter.
Well, you can. That's
Yeah,
fine.
you know what? That moved the needle. Look at how happy.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
We found it.
Bullying.
That was
bullying.
Now you
Yeah,
fell in.
yeah,
You
yeah.
fell
I
in
love
my-
bullying.
I never see
Yeah,
him more
God.
happy than when he bullies
He
Seth.
fell
So
into my
that's
trap.
what it is.
He
I
fell
love
into my
bullying.
trap. I knew.
I love beer.
I knew that if I get now, it could have gone one of two ways. But as I gave him the iPad Pro and the Apple Pencil, I say, "Here, try it," and he started drawing with it. And the technology, the pure technology of this amazing computer in our hands,
Yeah.
the pencil that has multiple features and
ridiculous,
functions. Nothing there, but drawing a weenie and some balls on there.
Yeah. Then I showed it to Pabon
Yeah.
and I made fun of art.
And you loved it.
And
you
then
loved
like,
it.
yeah.
And you got so happy.
Yeah.
We
I
found
think
your
I-
joy,
We're
man.
on to something.
Yeah.
We had a moment.
If there's only I could get like to tour some place like me and a bunch of bullies, and then we and then at the end of it we bully some people, and then I come out of his fist bump. Anyway,
I like that.
stupid.
Fist pumping with bullies. What have you been? What's the number one thing during quarantine? What would be the number one thing when you were doing art projects for people that you would draw? Normally, kids. Is it like their
Or
families and pets?
Yeah, doing a lot of family portraits, pets, and I was using a lot of that time to try to learn some new things because it's, I'm getting older and it gets harder to teach yourself things to sort of break out of ruts. So
Do you feel behind a little bit when you see other like artists? I know sometimes I feel behind technology wise.
Oh, yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
have to do this, so it's not like it's as easy for me to look at the new stuff.
yeah, I mean, one of the first things you learn is you're never going to be the best person in the room. So you kick that out the window immediately. And on my phone, I've got 50 people who do art 100 times better than I do. So like that Best of Orlando thing, like I was going to encourage people to vote for me because I'm on there. It's not because I think I'm the best artist in Orlando. I think that's actually pretty funny. It just helps, and it just
Yeah.
shows that people are receptive to what you're doing. But
Sure. It's an engagement level meter in some
Yeah.
way, you know?
And the voting's up right now, right? Orlando
yeah,
Weekly.
I think it's up for the rest of the month. Yeah, I get intimidated by what other people are doing, but that quickly turns into inspiration. Like, oh, maybe I can teach myself something new.
Yeah.
it's one of these businesses like, and that's why we're always talking to you about the business of art, where being the best doesn't really mean anything.
Oh, no.
Right? Like,
No.
it's like,
Because
so
it's subjective, yeah.
yeah, like being the best at art, it doesn't really give you. I mean, obviously, it gives you somewhat of an advantage, right? If you're good, you have to be good,
Right. If
But-
your sense of skills and just the what do you call that, the basics is awesome. Oh
Yeah.
man, I mean,
But it doesn't
really good.
It doesn't really guarantee you any sort of longevity in your career or like to make the most money or whatever. It's like it's
no.
kind of a happenstance where it's like, all right, did you get into here? How are you going to make money? Like, there's probably some of the highest paid artists in the world aren't by far not the best. Just the most popular, and that's really what it comes down to. Is like, are you the most popular artist?
It's just who you know and
Yeah.
who you're able to connect with, and yeah. And luckily for me, like I draw stuff that's important to me from my childhood, and the geeky kind of stuff I'm into. That people seem to resonate with that, so it helps make that connection.
yeah, you found your niche, kind of like the stuff that you like.
Yeah.
and people are extremely receptive to that. Has there ever been anything that anybody's ever asked you to draw that you're like, I don't think I want to do that?
It happens. There's always stuff that you're not as excited about. You just have to keep an eye on it, because if I'm bogged down with family like I don't wake up in the morning like can't wait to draw some stranger's family.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I say I do that. That's how I wake up. And Tom says I'm a psycho for saying that, and I can't draw. So normally I just do stick figures, and then I write "will kill them" above it.
You just have to focus on the things that, like we talked about before, sort of move your needle. So I got to make sure I got room for the things that I like to do, as well as the family portraits and the pets.
Right.
Not to S on your business or family portraits or anything, but anytime I do see a family portrait drawn, I do think to myself, we have cameras and we can get the best representation of your family possible.
He hates fun, whimsical things.
Oh, no, don't talk about it.
Are you seeing the theme here?
I'm just saying,
You're
like,
right, though. You're absolutely right. And that's why when I do these things, we're trying to make it fun. It's like, hey, your kid likes Spider-Man. I'm going to draw him as Spider-Man up on the wall. I'm going to do something.
oh, draw Tommy as Spider-Man. Free.
Well, you gotta hire him.
By tomorrow, thank you.
Jesus.
Draw Butler as Spider-Man, and then we'll get a fat head and stick it on the ceiling.
I also like. I feel like corporate art, I'll call it. And Tommy, or my wife, bought this book for Tommy and Max, and basically it's in a whole
Oh,
book.
it's Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible.
And it was
That's a great book.
Tommy and Max as a character
Oh, we
in
have
the
those.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was seemingly, because I looked at it, I was like, and they were-
Generic blonde boy one.
yeah. So when I was looking at it, they were super excited because like, oh, the names are in there, like Tommy, Max,
It's us.
and then Tommy's blonde with glasses, and then Max is just blonde, similar like
Yeah.
emoji or whatever the character, and then
It's kind of like an emoji. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
and then I asked my wife, and she's like, "Oh, I went on this website, and then I just picked their like skin color, their hair color,
Yeah,
like
just
that,
plug and play, yeah.
And then
I like to do that with people's kids, but I like to get the ethnicity, everything mixed up, the gender, all screw it up, and then just give it to them.
How much did you guys pay for that, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know, but it was probably a lot for a custom book, a story of
Although Pabone made some art for our custom coloring book that had your boys in it. It looked just like them.
their. No, I know.
This is not the first time I've heard this story from you, and that's what inspired that sort of cover with the, what was it, we had Soapy Butt.
Yeah.
the mystery
yeah,
Soapy
yeah.
Butt.
I forgot that was in that color, but it was traumatized.
I forgot it was in your bathroom over the weekend. I turned
that-
around and blew my pants off.
Because I think Tommy started making the correlation because like he's like, wait a minute, this is in this book that this is like daddy's
God, I'm
work.
a real boy. He's like, my dad's been gaslighting me this whole time.
I got a new update with the my long con.
Your long con,
with the
yes.
gutter. So we went to the bowling alley yesterday because it was raining, a crappy day,
Yeah.
whatever. And
Walmart was closed.
so Max, basically, he was trying to figure out the name or like to say that the ball went into the gutter. And then he's like, it's going into he was trying to remember the word gutter. And he's like, it went into the hose, indentator or whatever.
hose pocket.
And then I'm like, it's so ingrained, the gutter
you
being
got
the pressure washer wand or whatever, is
Yes.
so ingrained into his psyche.
I love it.
That now he's making references.
You've ruined him. You screwed up his whole English. How's he going to become a pro bowler now?
I was just saying that it's possible to straight up manipulate your kids into believing whatever you want.
I love it.
We are finding the little sparks of joy in you.
Yeah,
and
they're all evil.
Yeah,
and
it's all-
horrible.
None of them are good.
I've been telling my
He's a
son.
villain.
I've been telling my son that all different words mean different things, and his whole mind is just mush.
By the way, bowling not that funny.
I love bowling.
Dude, are you sore today after bowling?
No,
He works out.
Okay.
Yeah,
He really lifts weights. He's a muscle one.
it was just and then my son's like.
Do they like bowling?
Mm,
I have never taken Maisie bowling because I think Andrea thinks that she's very much takes a lot to move the needle with her. She's very
Yeah.
similar to you, and I think she thinks it's gross.
I saw Andrea and
Whoa.
Maisie over, and I was playing with all the kids in the pool, and I like Maisie's competitive spirit and her bullying me to keep lifting her up over and over when I have no arm strength anymore. And she's like, again. She's doing that on the trampoline too.
Yeah.
But I like she's super ultra competitive.
She's like Whiplash.
My boys are just-
She's like Whiplash.
Yeah.
Do it again. Play it again.
yeah. My boys are just lazily laying.
I want your boys. I want boys that play video games.
How
with
is
me.
that possible? Where like me and Daniel were talking, and Daniel's like, "My God, Maisie won't stop doing handstands. She's handstand after handstand.
she
after
won't
handstand.
stop.
She's training.
Yeah, it's handstand, and you can hear it's like 24/7.
And then I want my sons to go and do things, and literally I'm in that dead silent.
They're
I'm like,
just like their daddy. They
I'm
don't
like-
want to do nothing.
I'm like, hello?
I don't know how to do
Who's here?
nothing.
Like, is anybody here? And then my sons are quietly sitting in the
quietly.
corner of the playroom. And they're like, haven't made a peep. And I'm like, do something! Go outside! And they're like, they want to play video games or watch YouTube
I
all
want
day
Maisie
long.
to play video games. I like play video games with her. She's like,
No, let's ride bikes. Oh my God.
so hot outside.
My sons go outside and they're like, that's so hot. And I'm
That's
like,
how I
"God,
feel."
Stand out in the heat. And I'm like, do something. Let's play football. I'm throwing the football. They're like, I want to go inside. And I'm like, God,
That's just the
do
way
a
it works out.
handstand to be athletic. how did we get opposite kids?
We did. I want to switch them out one weekend.
Like
What if
kids
it works?
swap.
But what if it works?
Well, that's fine.
It probably would. Because they'd be
Yeah.
like,
'Cause I-
they'd be like, you want to play Mario Golf? I'm like, hell
They
yeah.
will sit there and play Mario Golf with you
All day.
5 hours.
Oh, that's what I want to do.
They do not have to pee. They do not have to do anything.
That's
They don't
just
have
like
to
me.
eat. They're never hungry. They're just sitting there docile.
They're like succulents.
Yeah, they're literally the equivalent of a succulent.
They're beautiful. They just sit there. They cause no trouble.
Like I
Only
want,
in addition, never a negative.
I want ultra competitive doing handstands. Or like, let's see if you can do 2 flips. Like, they're like, Rod, I'm like, workout.
Everything with her is a competition. She'll be like,
I
I bet
like
you I
that.
can do this faster. I bet you I can do this faster.
and I'm like, please stop.
I know every time Maisie's at the house or we're playing together, she's ultra competitive. Like, doing more. Like,
She's crazy.
like,
That
lift
just
me.
sounds demanding. I don't know if that's competitive.
No,
or
no,
not.
but she's like, because I'm throwing the kids around in the pool on the monster, and then they
Yeah.
attack me. But then I'm complaining about, I'm like, I'm so tired, and Maisie will
right.
not let
She's
me quit.
demanding.
No,
Yes, that's
she-
no competition.
She won't stop.
She's pushing me like a coach. She's like, more, do it. Like,
You can do it.
Remember the coach that makes the fat lineman walk across the entire football field? That's Maisie. They're like, see what you can accomplish when you don't quit. That's Maisie. So, I like that. They're pushing me harder. She's like, you can. I'm like, okay. My arms are noodles. Anyway.
What else you been working on, man? Anything else big
Yeah,
going on right now?
shows are opening up, conventions are opening up.
Nice.
Now the world's getting back to normal. I had to cancel EJ's con. I got a
He
bone to
brought
pick
it
with
up.
EJ.
Yeah, he brought it up
Oh,
like
yeah.
a D-head.
Well, I got a text from him. He's like, "Hey, I was just joking." I was like, "What? I need some context. Like, what are you talking about?" So I listened to
He's
the.
the king of not giving context, by the way.
Yeah, he was.
EJ.
So you canceled on his wife's MyCon? You had to, though,
I had to
right?
reschedule something.
yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
It happens.
But
It's fine.
I told my wife, like, "Hey, the nerd jock is giving me a hard time." And she was like, "The nerd jock, is that like a really smart buff guy?" And I was like, "No."
Take that, EJ.
Hey, it's the worst stereotypes of both. That's what it is. the opposite
Yeah.
of what she said.
Oh, that's funny.
So why did you quit, bro? He asked me. He texted me.
I have to go to a wedding. That's all it is.
Okay.
I have to go to. But yeah, cons. If you go to my website, it's artofericpabone.com, and there's a schedule of all the conventions and shows and things coming up. So.
Awesome.
And
I love it.
Vote for Eric on the Orlando Weekly Awards.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy. Just go on their site. He's up our local artist, best local artist.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, and I
cool.
think the voting, I don't know. They're in a long time, I think, this year.
Yeah, vote for all the friends of the show
Yeah, just
and all our sponsors.
Give
I
them
know
all a vote. If you-
August 1st.
There you go. Yeah, it's
You have
rolling.
until August
Yeah, you
1st.
got a minute. So.
Gringos is on there, and like there's any sponsor or friend of the show, vote for them.
Yeah.
We don't even care anymore if you vote for us.
Yeah, I
vote
mean,
for Samantha.
yeah.
Who's the best podcast now?
I don't
Honestly,
know.
I don't pay attention, so I don't know.
I haven't even looked at it
I'll have to look it
this
up.
year.
Yeah.
I mean, we're the best one at.
Well, maybe maybe
I was gonna
Pabone's,
say it.
maybe Pabone's podcast is on there.
No, it's not. No,
with
it's
the-
not.
Yeah,
I think no,
So
not
we got
dude.
With the Side of Chaos,
Nah,
the
dude's
Tuttle
on-
Daily Podcast,
Tuttle,
No
yeah.
New Friends Podcast, A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan,
Yep.
Funny to Informing, Nah
Yep.
Dude, Poking the
Nah
Bear,
Dude, Poking the
Orlando
Bear.
Out of Context, Full Frontal Nerdity, and Legal Morse of Action.
Okay.
Those are all of them.
A lot of those I
Out
don't
of
know.
those, we're the best.
I mean,
in every
in every category,
in every
way,
In every way.
in a
In every way.
quantifiable way. Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that we're the only show that is not capitalized.
Yeah, they messed up our name. I noticed that. Yeah, somebody sent it to me. They're like, they messed up your name. I was like, they're typing fast. Some intern filled this out. I don't know what it is.
Also, we stopped advertising with them. That
That's
really
right, yeah.
hurt you. yeah,
They're mad.
yeah. Those other podcasts you advertise with, you'll win.
Stop buying those plaques. Is what it was.
yeah.
Oh
Anyway.
my god.
All right, Pabone. We'll talk to you later, and we'll see you right after the break.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about something.
Yeah.
I'm going to tread lightly. It does involve my in-laws. And I don't want to say that they were doing anything. You know Jim.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
about
Yeah.
very lovely people.
Yeah.
But they did something that had you been in my position and witnessed it, I don't think you would have been able to endure the entire time because it was even a challenge for me.
As far as awkwardness?
Awkwardness.
Okay, all right.
I know, I don't even like bringing these up anymore because
EJ's calling now.
oh, God, I have a great story. Well, let's do it.
We'll go back to it.
He
We'll
said
go
he
back.
had to find a dry spot.
Oh my God! Normally you try to find the wet spot.
Yeah,
You're doing it wrong.
Roll it in flour.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My uncle
Twice
Randy.
today you've got.
EJ, are you
Hold on,
there?
let me see if I can get this. Oh, hold on. I still got on my. Let me turn off my mariachi. There we go.
I'm right in front of the Indiana Jones place.
All right.
All right.
So, EJ, we
Hold
were
on.
talking before this about it's your
You're under
son's
Gertie's. I know where you are.
under Gertie.
Right where the ice
Gertie,
cream
the
is.
dinosaur. Yeah.
Gertie is the old lady that the old man is sad about and kills his cat in the Swervy Jones cartoon. That's Gertie.
So, EJ, we mentioned that it's your son's birthday. You're at Hollywood Studios or whatever, Universal. You don't have to do your bit today. It's fine. You could have said, hey, my son's birthday. I'm taking him
Forcing him to sit under Gertie while you do this.
Hey,
He just wants to go on rides.
hold on. Are you going to
Hey,
tell your
buddy.
son? Like,
We already went to everything almost. Like we rode Slinky Dog. We rode we didn't ride Rise of the Resistance.
We'll go
We
get
rode,
on it.
hold on.
You're ruining his birthday.
Yeah. He's sitting there.
That poor little boy.
Hold on. Let me tell your son that his dad doesn't make any money from this.
That he's choosing to do this bit over hanging
You know
out.
what you should do for
There's-
doing the
yeah.
bit on.
There's really no
Okay, if you
reason at all.
I know you love a good gaslight, a
Yeah.
good long con. I know you like messing things up. Why don't you just tell the boy that because his dad chose to do the bit on his birthday that you're canceling the bit, and you'll never do it again, and then watch the whole family unravel.
It's just your fault. He should have been
Make it his fault.
He should have been at work at his desk.
Yeah, say because of your birthday, Daddy's bit got canceled. I mean,
one day off. That's it.
Yeah.
He gets replaced.
yeah.
And we get two Canadian
Yeah,
Joshes.
that's the way it works. Two Canadian Joshes. We could have had an Akeem Woods, but he's big now.
Oh, yeah,
That's
won't
true.
do it. Won't even
Yeah,
talk to
won't
us.
even talk to
Order
us.
line for Tower of Terror. I found a store story about a hockey player that got killed by fireworks.
Yeah, everybody
We all
knows that story.
sad.
Yeah.
They
oh,
did a little thing for him last night at the
They did.
Lightning match, and I was like, oh my god.
They did. And
I
it was
mean-
very sad. He's 23 years old.
Yeah.
So-
24, 23.
EJ, in an
Baby.
effort to get your son's birthday back up and running, we'll do it as quickly as possible. So, do you want to talk?
Okay.
Do you want to talk about the hockey player?
We can talk about that, yeah, for sure.
So I got a little upset about, and this goes into what Andrew used to do, is write headlines for news agencies, because every headline made it seem like he was killed by fireworks.
He
That
was.
I think he
was.
I think he
hit
was.
him right in the
They
chest.
messed up the story a
Yes,
lot.
they
The-
did.
The first story
he
was
slipped and hit his head.
well, that was the first
Oh,
story.
that's what they thought they did.
That was
And
the
then what really happened, he was in a hot tub, and the firework was tilted. It was a mortar, and it went at the hot tub, and he was like stuck in the middle, and the two people to his sides like dodged it, and he got hit right in the chest.
Yeah, he
And that
died from
killed
chest
him.
trauma.
Yeah,
Concussed.
Sam
Oh.
said the same thing
Yeah.
in the group chat
Okay.
because I said, yeah, he hit his head because the first story, and
That's
this
what
was
it said.
vetted
I
and
re-
everything. We read it, and it said he was running, fleeing, he slipped, getting out of a hot tub, and hit his head. I'm like, oh, man. That's
Which also happened, but
Yeah.
that's not what he died from.
No. that's
So
not
he
what
died
No.
from chest trauma from a mortar?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it seems
Yeah.
like.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Super sad, too.
And me and my son were shooting off mortars yesterday, and I said, see, that's how dangerous they are.
Well, yeah, I mean, getting.
teaching moment.
Also, though, it's kind of like a Steve Irwin of fireworks. Like, that had to have been the perfect.
Now, hold on a second.
Huh?
I've been calling myself the Steve Irwin of fireworks for
Not to make
almost
light.
15 years, and
Like, it's horrible tragedy, accident for this guy. But, I mean, I feel like if that mortar had to have hit him,
Wow.
like, at the perfect place in the heart. Like,
In
because.
the chest, yep.
also
And
you,
it went off when it hit him in the chest. That's what killed him. The percussive force is what was the cause of death.
Hold on. It hadn't. It couldn't have gone off exactly as it hit him because those things fly. They're timed. So
well, who knows where it was coming from? I mean, we're trying to fill in the gaps here. And
Yeah.
We don't even know
Well,
what happened. But the report said that it exploded, and the concussive force is what injured him.
because think about how mortars fire off. They fire off with the initial charge. We should have Craig to talk about like how this could have happened because the initial charge, the explosion shoots them up out of the tube and in enough height where then the secondary explosion goes off, but it's a timing thing, right?
Yes.
That's fine. I'm just doing a bit on the radio. That's all.
Are they kicking you out of Universal? Please.
Oh, my God.
Who's that guy?
Kicked out of
Wait,
Universal.
put that guy on. Put that guy on. Who is that?
Oh my God.
Just a random guest at Hollywood Studios.
Hey, let him do the
Yeah,
bit.
give him your phone.
I like that guy better.
Give him your phone. I'm going to tell him to run with it.
You look like Mark Cuban, Tom.
the what?
Uh-oh.
Oh, like Mark Cuban. Hold on, no one's ever said I look like Mark
No,
Cuban.
no.
You know what?
It's like that's all white guys look the same type of thing.
Yeah.
That guy's racist.
I see it now.
That guy's racist.
I see it a little bit now. I see the Mark Cuban in there.
It's not that bad, although he's a little melty. He got
Yeah,
a melty.
well,
He got melty.
For a while, he was rocking that Doc Ock Stooge haircut.
Radio show, they do a podcast and stuff like that.
Oh, don't do the bit. Just talk to your new friend.
Why not just tell him I'm talking to my grandma? Because you tell him you're doing a radio show and people ask more
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
Like when it
Tell him to shut up and mind his business.
They're mean people.
We're not mean people, but who walks up to a guy who's on the phone and says, "What are you doing, sir? You're rude. Go get a popcorn and cool your jets. You're rude.
Start fighting him in front of your son on his birthday.
Beat that guy up for your son. That's all he's ever wanted is you be a man." You want to impress your son?
Show him you still got
You
it.
want to impress your son? Act like you have a penis for once in your life and beat that knucklehead up at Universal Studios and make him eat a Spider-Man popcorn bucket.
Anyway, how did it? Because I've shot a mortar at people before in college, and anytime it hits something, it bounces off and then explodes on the floor.
Yeah, but you ask a lot of like, how does this happen? And your answer for almost all of these is randomness, man. I don't know how to explain it to
How
you.
old is your son, EJ? Because Christina has a point. It's his birthday, and you're talking about someone getting killed by fireworks on his birthday in front of him? That's
Could have been
morbid.
you, boy.
Birthday was in May, and the only time we can get get tickets to go to MGM was today. Right before
MGM.
Hurricane.
MGM. How old are you? It hasn't been called MGM since the 90s.
Oh,
You
hold
know,
on.
like Universal.
The only
on the
day
studio.
was, what day is it? July
Seventh.
Sixth.
6th. The only day you could get him tickets was July 6th.
Yeah.
There was, how random is that?
Well, they're limiting capacity and stuff.
Yeah, they're limiting capacity, so
So they
And you have to
literally-
make reservations still.
Yeah.
I thought it was full on open, baby.
No.
I cheered
No.
DeSantis with my Miller Lite. I thought anything goes.
I also like that
Or-
you're back to the Miller Lite. Yeah, like, you know,
Hey, it's his beer of choice.
go with what you know.
So anyway, it's crazy freak accident.
And it what was really weird, the weird story to me was the amount of places that got it wrong and continued to have gotten it wrong. You know, there's only a
Yeah.
few places now that have gone back and corrected the story. It's like now when things are reported,
People
it's just
started
like,
reporting it before an autopsy was done.
Yeah, but
the
that's been
thing.
happening a
Yeah.
lot. That happened here locally. I'm not going to say what
But
I'm referencing, but I know you know what I'm talking
Yes,
about. And people
yeah.
are like, this guy's dead. It's like, nope, he's not.
What's weird is that
Shut up.
the story was he slipped and hit his head, and there was people at the party. Like,
Eyewitnesses saw him hit his head. That did happen, but that is not what killed him.
So
So like
apparently-
he probably got knocked out of the hot tub with
Yes.
the thing, and then hit his head on the.
And then medical staff came, got him, and took him away. So nobody knew what was happening. So they saw him hit his head, and they're like, "Well, obviously that's what it was, and that's what was reported, but it was incorrect."
It's just I've never
he
heard
had
of
internal organ damage.
crazy.
yeah,
Because
his heart and his lungs were damaged by it. The percussive force that hit him.
because in all the history of fireworks that we've talked about, and all the only stories I've ever heard about mortars is someone sticking their face over the tube because they thought it was like it didn't go off,
Yeah.
and then it killing them
Well,
by getting hit in the face.
And I know a guy who lost an eye that way. He didn't die.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to minimize it. Again, not
Right.
trying to minimize.
no,
I'm just
but-
saying the only one that I know of is a guy I know that lost an eye.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like how crazy, unlucky, random accident. It's like Steve Irwin getting hit with a barb straight in the heart
Yeah.
in the like any other place that barb he's lives.
Correct.
You know. Anyway, all right. Next story, EJ.
Okay, the next story. Well, we got to talk about the finals, where it being the Bucks versus the Suns.
I mean, do we? I mean,
Okay.
I think we all want after the Hawks fell out. I think everybody sort of wants Suns in 5, right?
Yeah, Suns and 4.
Suns in 4. Or Suns in 4. Why did I say 5? Big basketball fan, you can tell.
Yeah. So is
But Giannis might not be playing for, the first game because his knee's still messed up.
Yeah,
No, yeah, he
Oh,
said
this
they
guy's-
said
this
he's
guy's
going to be okay, but his I have my own audience today.
I like
hold on.
it.
Give the phone to the guy.
Yeah,
I like
give-
him
yeah,
better.
I like the guy.
I want to talk to him.
Yeah, give it back
He
to
knows more.
If Giannis is playing in this series, he's going to Game 7.
All right.
All right, you heard that.
He said
You
game
heard that
7.
from
I
our
think
sports
Suns-
guy.
Under dirties.
Yeah.
Hold on. Ask him.
What's his
EJ,
name?
ask him what's his name and if he wants to do a
Roddy.
segment once a week.
Do you want to do a segment on their show once a week and take my spot?
They just don't work for me.
What do you do? This is Weird Job Wednesday now.
So I have a jewelry store.
He has a
Jewelry store.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
guy's rich.
Oh, he can sponsor the bit. It's perfect.
Yeah.
We
I'm
talk.
responsible for the bit.
Nerd Jock brought to you by Antonio's Jewelry. Or whoever this guy, he looks like an
Get
Antonio.
his name right.
What's his name?
Don't be messing with my sponsors. His name's Roddy.
Roddy.
Oh,
Roddy. I've never met a Roddy. I've never met
Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Jewelry Ronnie.
Oh yeah, hey,
Diamond
Jewelry
Roddy.
Roddy. They call me Big Diamond Daddy Roddy. What do you want? What do you want? You want some rubies? You want some emeralds? Just, cubic zirconium?
Wait, the whole jewelry.
What do you want?
business-
Hey, what do you want? You want some turquoise? I got all the turquoise.
All right, EJ. Next story.
Should we go to nerd stuff?
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
making
yeah.
a short bit. Okay. Have you guys seen? Okay, spoilers for the Loki. They keep on getting whether it's an alligator or a crocodile wrong. Okay. Do you know? You guys all know. You're all Floridians, so you know the difference, right?
Yes.
Okay. What's the difference between an alligator and a crocodile?
Well, an alligator has
Hell if I know.
a wider snoot,
Yeah.
and a crocodile has a more narrow
Narrow.
snoot.
Yeah.
Also, crocodiles
Crocodiles eat the butt.
Crocodiles can live like more better in salt water. They're more aggressive.
Did you say Mo Betta?
No better
I'll just go, crocodile can't live in the ocean. Crocodile live in the salt water, Mo Betta guilty, I must say. Yeah. Oh, it's me, it's Zataran Tom. Hey, Tom, tell me about that. Tell me about that crocodile, Mo Betta in the salt water.
Yeah, but
Will you do the damn story?
On the internet are mixing up Crocodile and Loki because there's a Loki has Loki horns on his head at the end of the last episode.
What the hell?
Can we hang up?
What the hell are you talking
That's
about?
a story?
Yeah. I didn't do that much research.
Just go be with your family. We got it from here.
Hollywood Studios.
Let's talk to your son. How's
How
days
sad is
going?
this? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like,
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going? Are you bored right now? Do you want to go ride some rides?
Oh my God! It's like EJ's a little EJ.
Hold on, I like
not
this
that
boy.
impressed.
I like this boy. But me and you can walk around a theme park and be like, it's not that good.
I'm gonna throw up. The whole theme today has been Tom hating
It's
everything,
meh.
and EJ sounds like it's your birthday for
That's
Christmas.
what everything. Yeah, but it's not. It's raining. Your dad's under a pavilion.
Gertie dinosaurs?
oh, what you did today? Tell him. Don't be scared.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna have stage
Are
fright?
you having a
Oh,
good
man.
birthday? Are you having a good birthday?
Are you having a good birthday?
Yeah.
If you can get anything for your birthday, anything,
Yeah.
what would you want?
It would probably be like a droid from here. I'm gonna sign it now.
All right.
All right.
Tell your dad to
He
buy
wants
you
one of
the.
those droids. Make your own droid.
Tell
too.
your dad to buy you the nicest droid there.
Yeah. He's got money.
He's got coin.
He also has like a ring that he just shows off all the
Yeah.
time.
You can pawn that with Roddy at the jewelry store.
Absolutely.
Get you
Oh,
a
yeah.
droid.
Hey, how
Ask
much-
Roddy how much that
Yeah,
big for
ask
nothing
Roddy.
ring's worth.
Yeah, ask Ronnie how much a bench seat
Championship.
ring.
Oh, that's another story. Did you hear about Vince Wilfork's son, like pawning all his rings from his national championship ring and his two Patriots Super Bowl rings,
Ooh.
and he sold it for like $60,000, and they're worth like $300,000.
Did he do it for pain pills or like was
Oh
it
yeah,
that?
for sure. It was drugs.
I don't trust it unless Roddy tells me what it's worth. You don't know, Jules.
But it's sad.
That's, I mean, some people, like, you either get the Archie Manning and then you got two sons that won the Super Bowl, one dud, and then you get, or you get the, the addict that pawns all your valuables, like, man, and it's all the random roll of the dice.
It really is.
All right, EJ, go with your son and
Yeah, get
enjoy
outta
the rest
here.
of the day.
All right. Well, I love you guys. And make sure you go to my wife's MyCon event August 28th at the Wyndham Resorts.
All right. Let's say bye to Ronnie now. All right, see ya.
He's
See
the
ya,
best.
Ronnie.
He's throwing up games.
Hey,
throwing up
email
the
us.
signs.
Yeah, you're better, EJ.
All right, get out of here.
Yeah.
All right, Ronnie, email us. What the hell did we just do? I don't even know what
I
that
don't know
was.
what that
I don't know what that
was.
was.
There's no
We're
explanation.
like
for it.
zooming with EJ's son and his birthday, and the boy is
Some
sad.
random jeweler.
Yeah, and Roddy the jeweler
Hiding
is
from the rain
yelling,
under a
"Oh, he
giant
pawned
dinosaur."
his rings!" I love guys like that where you're trying to do something quiet and you're saying something. Like I could be leaning over to my wife and say like, "I think the guy up there split his pants," and the guy Ronnie would come, "Oh, the guy up there split his freaking pants!"
Yeah.
Oh,
So
loud.
here's okay, because EJ's son and his excitement level is like my son's. Every time I bring him somewhere, where
Maybe
they're
it's
like,
a boy thing.
they just like they're like,
Or maybe he's just embarrassed by his dad and he didn't want to.
Well,
Yeah. There's a little bit of that, but there's also like,
he loves his daddy. They look exactly like
But-
my God. It's like
Yeah, they
it's
do.
like an EJ action
Why did
figure.
he give
How
his son the
cute.
stooge?
How cute is that kid?
but it's just like everything that we go to do as a family,
Yeah.
whether it's theme parks, whether it's
I
some
think that's just
grandiose.
kids, man. Maisie's just
Yeah.
a complaint machine. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just kids.
it's like you take them and then they're always just like, "Ugh," and then at one point in the day, I scream in my head, "Who are we doing this for?
Yeah.
What
tell-
are we
I don't
doing?"
know.
I have to tell May all the time, like, do you ever not complain? Do you ever not complain?
Man, that's rough.
Like, she complains all the time about everything.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I don't want to get in the car and go get food. I'm like, all right, well, we don't have to get in the car and go get food. You're not getting food. I got
But
food.
I'm hungry.
Well, no,
Yeah.
but then it'll go like, I got food. I'm like, all right.
It's
Independent
you know
woman.
what?
Where's your food? Yeah, she don't need me.
Life is too easy. It's too
It
easy for everybody. Like, seriously. Like, no, I mean, like, no, some people got it harder. But I'm talking like in reference of ancient humans, and I'm watching that show Alone, and like they put the people
I
in
love
Alaska,
watching shows alone.
and then to see what people have to actually do to just live and
Yeah.
survive, you're like, oh my God, it's an insane amount of work, and like all could be for nothing. Like it could, one misstep and dead or whatever.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like. And so you see that, and that's where all humans came from, right? It's like, and then it just got easier and easier until now, 2021. I think everybody, for the most part, some people got it real hard, like I say, but
Well, if
life
you're-
is pretty easy.
If you've chosen to live in the wilderness and you're living like in Alaska and you love it because you love the challenge, because there's a lot of people that enjoy that challenge. It's kind of like what keeps them driven, and like keeps them rooted, and
Yeah.
they enjoy that. Then and you fall off the side of a mountain because you were hunting some sort of animal that you needed. Then I think you probably accept that fate graciously, and you're like, yes, that's exactly the way I would have wanted to go. The ones that really get me are like this hot tub guy, where it's like you're 23, you're literally at a party, you're partying, right? And it just roll the dice, something happened.
Yeah, it's like a car accident, or
Yes.
rarer than a car. You slipping and hitting your head, a firework randomly hitting you exactly in the chest to kill you. It's crazy. Those things happen.
They do.
And it's mathematically impossible. It still happens. You won the death lottery of random acts that you could die from,
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like with our kids, they're not really that impressed, or they're like blown away by much. It's like you got the internet, you got some AC, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there's, some kids got way more than others, but for the most part, like in the majority of people at least listening to this, their kids have like internet, AC, a bunch of toys, some things. Like they're never really bored, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of times the reaction, and we've been spoiled by even major companies and theme parks with the grand reveal. I don't think I've had we have romanticized the grand reveal of anything, whether it be a gift, a destination, a trip, a vacation to the children. We have romanticized this grand reveal, and there's no such thing. I have yet to, in 6 years of having a daughter, I have yet to gift her anything or take her anywhere where the reaction that I received back was equal or close to a reaction that either I've witnessed on a commercial or in a movie. It's fake.
Yeah.
It's all fake. It's not real.
Yeah.
So I have.
But your fantasy of
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I know you play this game too, but whether it was that, remember I took her and I got her that princess thing and she hated that. Like, it doesn't matter what I do. And I know you're the same way. And this is where we do have common ground. We know our kids are completely different, but where we do meet in the middle is there's nothing that you can provide Tommy and Max that's going to give you the reaction you want. And there's nothing I can provide Maisie that's going to give me the reaction that I want. And we're just never going to get that. And I don't understand why. I think it doesn't exist.
You know what's
I don't think it's real.
in that show, Alone or whatever, one of
Yeah.
the people quit, and then they said a statement that I was like, that makes perfect sense. But he's like, man, everything. He's like, what I realize is everything I want, I already have. And
Write that down.
And I was like, that's pretty interesting
That's
because he's out in the woods. He's trying to do like he's fantasizing about like, oh, I wish I had this and food and all these things that you want. And then everything he wants, he's like, I have that in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like when you have everything you need, like how exciting, living in a society has given us the advantage of like being pretty well taken care of, right?
Yeah.
Like just by the fact that we have a society and we don't have to survive and live as harsh
There are
as
things
life,
put in place, sure.
that I'm sure affects people, right? And it's probably the reason everybody's anxiety is up. I was thinking about this with Crystal the other day. I was like, you put animals in zoos and they just pace back and forth and they're like, their animal anxiety is up or whatever. Like some veterinarian be like, oh, this thing's freaking out as this tiger has been pacing back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like they don't do well. Like the orca's fin flops over. They don't know why. And it's like
Yeah.
they're there's some sort of inherent depression or anxiety the animal gets in a zoo. I wonder if that's our human race now, where we're just in these lives where we don't have to really, compete for food anymore. We don't have to like be worried about death every day. You know what I'm saying? Like and then we're kind of just in a zoo-like state where we have these, the routines. We have these lives. We go to work. We do this.
I kind of equate it to like military power. I think you'll follow me with this. It's like you can amass like a nuke, right? You could have like the ultimate deterrent, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I got it. But how often do you actually go to 100? You don't. But if you don't use it, it deteriorates, right? So this is kind of how I look at it in my mind is like we have all these kind of things that have been put in place to protect us and it's instinct and survival. But if you're never using it because there's never a need to use it, then those type of things that you have inside of you will deteriorate. That's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah.
It's almost like that sense you don't need it anymore. Well, you got to do something with it, I guess. It's still energy. It's still inside your brain.
It's working in a faulty manner,
or working against you, or malfunctioning in some way.
Yeah, because it's never been used properly or whatever.
That's kind of how I look at it. It's just like you have these things in place that for years our forefathers and even way before that needed.
Yeah, that we've evolved.
Like you said, we got it pretty good, right?
But that's creating some sort of mental problem.
Well, then your mind will create it for you. You don't have the problem, but you still have the way and the means to try and fix the problem. So then if you're like me, to use myself as an example, my brain will find something that's very small and then explode it to the size it seems like it needs to be in order to push my feelings on top of it, which is pretty inaccurate response.
Your brain's still releasing the same stress chemical that it needed to when you're being chased by something or you're surviving or whatever.
It's like, there's no problem here. I'll create a problem.
Yeah, because it still wants to release the chemical, and then it's just malfunctioning. And then it's like there's just a baseline. It seems like anxiety is one of the biggest problems that I've seen plague our society.
It's an epidemic for sure.
In my lifetime, where the majority of people deal with some sort of form of anxiety that hinders their life in a way.
Yeah.
Right? Like
totally. I hear it every day. Every week I get emails from people because we talk about it so much on the show. And I get a lot of people that, like never thought about it. I mean, geez Louise, the number of people that are in our BDM anxiety and depression or introvert, like it's exploded during the pandemic, with people. I mean, last week I think we put like 9 new people in there that were asking about it. I mean, don't feel weird. Just show at TomandDan.com. We'll put you in there.
Well, it should make everybody feel better if they're suffering from anxiety to know that everybody is suffering from anxiety in one form or another. It seems like at least the majority of people I come in contact with have some sort of that or have dealt with it. And so, where maybe it's always been that way, and then people weren't talking about it as much.
But and a lot of people just didn't know what it was, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and
then they coat it with drugs and alcohol. That'll help.
Exactly. Then it gets worse, and
Andrea,
as you get age, your mind and body are breaking down, and you're more susceptible to it. People get adult onset anxiety and depression that they never dealt with.
Andrea got that
as you get older, because of course, everything's breaking down after a certain age. So it's like your brain's not working better, and you go into your 40s and 50s and 60s.
I feel like it is though. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't. It doesn't feel. It actually feels like I'm dying for the first time ever. When I wake up in the morning, I can tell I have limited time.
It makes sense.
It feels like.
Even older people, they get time anxiety and stuff like that.
I've always had time anxiety.
Yeah. No, I know, but it's but people that may have never had it before, they get it as they age. It's just because first time their perception of it's going way faster than other people's.
And your mortality seems like it's closer
Correct.
than ever. You're like, but there's also got so much time left.
Yeah, but there's also an irrationality involved with it, because I remember my pop-up, who never literally showed fear or any anxiety in his entire life to me ever. But when he had a doctor's appointment next week, he would be constantly calling me hey, remember next Wednesday? I'm like, yeah, no, Pop-Up. I'll be there. But it was a week. It was something that he was concerned about and worrying him for
So
no reason.
Can't miss that doctor's appointment.
Yeah, but it was like
it is interesting.
I
yeah.
never had not picked him up or made it, so there was no reason for him
Right.
to keep reminding me. He
But
just
it's probably like the only thing he had on his schedule, right? So he just obsessed about it.
yes, you get this. Yeah, and then what is that? It's like after a certain age, when you're in your late 80s, you shouldn't care, but you care more.
You do care more. Yeah.
So why is that? Is because you're probably
the curse.
your chemicals are malfunctioning and you're getting stress over things that shouldn't stress you out because that's the only thing you have to stress out about.
You
right?
have to find something.
And that's
It's kind of like when you're in a bad mood and it's like you have no other way to get it out, and then you end up snapping on somebody, and then you're like, yeah, sorry. It was almost as if somebody had to be the target. Somebody was going to get it.
Yeah.
And yeah, then it's just like learning how everybody should learn how to hack their own body chemicals, and it's like you've done it with exercise.
Trying. Yeah, it's working.
But that you've hacked your own body chemicals with just exercising every single day. Like, and that's way
Not even for exercise, for my brain.
Yeah, but it's like, and then people can hack their own brain chemicals by doing lots of things. Like, even taking, which I suggest, the medication if you need it.
Oh, yeah.
People are so. That's another weird thing. People are
It's
so
super helpful.
against the antidepressant.
There's multiple reasons why, it doesn't mean they shouldn't do it, but, some people are afraid of getting addicted to things. Some people are afraid that it makes them look weak, all that kind of stuff plays into it.
Yeah, I mean, some of it is like irrational. Like some of it's
Yeah.
real. It's like, hey, I don't necessarily. I mean, not that everybody should just turn to medication. I'm not saying that. Do whatever's best for you, but
Look through your options for sure.
The reasons I've heard in the past are like, oh, it affects my libido or whatever. It's like, you look
That level.
look what the imbalance is affecting the rest of your like it's ruining everything.
And they also have medications for that.
Yeah,
so
of
if
course.
it does affect your libido, you can.
But it's funny. It's like everything is spiraling out of control in my life, and these horrible things, and like I'm depressed, and these like going these swings or whatever, and I'm worried about my bon hour.
Yeah.
That seems like a small problem compared to
But
the overall mess that is happening right now.
But I think that's typically kind of where guys go, right? It's kind of
Yeah.
like guys go like, well, if you really want me to depress and make that not work, I ain't taking these no. There's so many of these cliches
There's a
that
lot of bad things happening to you because of this problem. Like that is a small thing.
I've heard that before from
I've heard
people.
it most.
I've heard it from people that say that'll take it and then be on some sort of medication and be like, I took it for 3 days and I didn't feel a damn bit better.
Right.
And I'm
They don't
off
even
of
give it a
now.
shot,
And
yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
I mean, well, yeah,
It hasn't even gotten to your
do
system
what the
yet.
doctor. Yeah, and not like it all works for everybody, but
No.
man, the reasons why people don't do it are uninformed. Let's say,
Yeah,
because
that's true.
I've seen it have a lot of positive effects for a lot of people, and literally change people's lives. Where like, man. Now that I've got on the proper medication, I'm on the proper diet or whatever. I've got a friend of mine from high school that literally is like a perfectly well-adjusted, have great life right now he's living, and it was a chemical imbalance mess of bipolar that he could not function. It was like alcohol, he's using alcohol instead of and then on the bipolar medication, and he was like,
it won't work.
His life was roller coastering out of control. The decisions he was making, like all of this played into it. As soon as he got that, like perfectly happy, perfect, not perfect. No one's life is perfect, but it's like, man, the difference was so dramatic that I was like, man, if other people dealing with what he dealt with was able to find this balance or at least try it, it could have such positive effects. I don't know how we got into talking about this, but
I don't know.
Anxiety.
But it affects all
People
of us.
being too complacent, kids not being impressed with theme parks.
No, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that spiraled out.
It's all a spiral.
Yeah,
A spectrum and a spiral.
I've been farting the whole time. Whole segment. Like I've off 1 of 17
Is that the
seconds.
turkey and cheese sub?
I guess, like I just ate a turkey sandwich. Turkey and sweats is what I have like almost every day.
Not to talk sports, but we only got a couple minutes.
Let's do it.
It was supposed to be Nerd Jokes, so go ahead.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, have you? heard the Aaron Rodgers thing, and there may be some new stuff.
Yeah, look it up, Sam. No,
But-
I'm not up to date with Aaron Rodgers.
So anyway, he basically is telling the team to trade him. He doesn't want to play for Green Bay anymore. He hates the front office, right? And the front office there is unique in the fact that it's publicly owned.
Yeah.
So there's no owner. The people own it, and then the office just runs it.
I like it. It's almost like he's saying, I hate the
so-
people there.
Well, no, well, he,
No, but the way you explained it is to say, you guys are the front office and I hate you.
he says he hates the GM and whoever's in
Now
charge.
that
of
I'm
it.
up to speed on, but I didn't know if there was anything else happening.
No, well, right now is this like, is he going to play or is he going to forfeit his money? And I guess basically you'd be forced to retire, or he could sit out a game and then lose X amount of 20 million. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, and because they've said they're not going to trade him, right? And so now, everybody's just waiting. Like, is this guy going to play and be a quarterback, or is he going to sit out based on his principle? Which
I mean, it would be just like him to go back and play for the team, right?
I
don't
A
see
lot of people
how
are
you-
speculating that's what he's going to do, is just play again.
I don't see how you could do that after you've said what you've said, but if you can compartmentalize, like you could do it, I think. I think it's a safe bet that I think if you were Aaron Rodgers, Tom Van, and you said, I hate the front office, I do not want to play for this particular guy.
Yeah.
And then they call your bluff and say, well, we're not doing anything about it. And you'd be like, okay, well, I will play.
For my money,
isn't it
yeah.
what I did when I quit my job?
Yeah.
In a weird way, they were like, well, we will sue you. And I said, that's fine. I'll just work out this contract, and then I will leave.
Yeah. That's essentially because in his contract he can sit out, but they don't have to pay him, or
No
he can
need.
play,
I'll
and
work.
now you could also play poorly, which would be weird.
I don't think he
because
would do that.
Then you're screwing yourself.
He doesn't strike me
Yeah,
as that guy.
exactly.
No. And I wasn't poorly. I still wrote songs and did everything I needed to do. But
'Cause
I just
you hurt yourself if you
I'm
do
just
that.
Like, I know my heart's not in this, and I got to get out of here.
But what I and most people are trying to figure out is what the end game plan is. And some people are saying, like, it's just he's putting this out there because he has to say it, and that's how he feels. And to me, I always
to say my truth.
Well, that's
say my truth.
to me, I always think of like there's some business reason behind it, or like I would assume some reason that is the best possible reason for him, right? I'm just thinking like people are motivated by self-interest. So I am assuming that what he is doing right now, he believes will give him the best possible future, right? And most money and most
I think
opportunity.
it might be a little deeper than that. I'm reading. There's actually a bunch of news stories about Aaron Rodgers right now, but one of them was like you guys know he didn't do any of the mandatory like mini camps or
OTAs,
whatever,
yeah.
and he says he's been using this time off to like really focus on his mental health. So maybe it was like a super toxic work environment. He just cannot work within that company anymore. Maybe it's just that simple of like, these people are taking a toll on my mental health. I don't want to work for this team. I don't know.
That's kind of what it was for me. And then you're
Yeah.
like, I'm out. And then they call your bluff. But I think he will play.
And people think you won't. Yeah, they think you won't do it.
But there's certain things. See, it all goes back to lawyers and agents and a lot of big money.
all
but he
stuff we're-
doesn't need it.
You're right, but I would assume a guy that is motivated as he's been his entire life is that type of personality where you want to win and you want to be the best.
He's a competitor. Yeah.
Right. So that tells me that type of personality doesn't stop wanting to win and wanting to be the best. I think you die like that, right? I think that's so
Yeah, no,
ingrained.
I
Even
don't-
after these guys finish football, they're competitive people.
Well, that's why I think if he stays with the team, I think he will play. Because I
Yes.
think that's who he is.
And that's what they're assuming that he will do, and it's a win-win. I mean, that's what they want. They want him to play, and they want him to be the best, right? That's the whole thing. But what do you think his plan is? Like, why do this? Is it just to get attention and tell everybody, like, hey, I don't want to be in this scenario, so that eventually a team will offer Green Bay enough for him to be
I
traded?
think there's part of that in there, but is this scenario, because like I'll lay one on here and you say if you think this could be possible. is it possible, kind of going along with what Sam's saying, that he's done this for a very long time, right? And he's won at the highest level, and now he's at a point in his life where he wants to get exactly what he wants. And if he's not willing to get that, then he's just cheeky enough, because he is kind of a smartass, to manipulate this thing and screw around with it just because his heart's not fully in it anymore. So why not just let it roll? Or why not just, like, why? I mean, what if he's
Go
just,
host Jeopardy or whatever he wants to do.
Or what if he's just kind of screwing around because...
Well, he could retire. That's the thing, too. You could retire.
Yeah, but my point is, what if he just wants to see this through? What if they're calling his bluff and he's calling their bluff? He's okay, bud, let's see where this goes.
And
he's just kind of screwing around. That's what it kind of feels like. And he seems, if I'm just going on the way I think I perceive him from, I don't know him, from the media and just seeing him on TV.
Yeah.
I think he's just smart-assy enough to want to just, let's hang this thing. Let's let it be real sticky and gross because you guys are not being cool.
So it could be a scenario where it's not meticulously planned out. That's what it's hard for me to grasp that
but we
still happens.
Always thought that things were meticulously planned out, and things were never meticulously planned out. Now, all I can go on is what I know from my scenario, but every single time that I thought I had it figured out and I thought it was super complicated web of decisions that higher-ups and people smarter than me and making tons of money were making, nope, it was the opposite. It was that they didn't think about it. They didn't have the knowledge. They didn't have a plan. They were not prepared. They didn't know what they were doing. They were caught with their pants down and they screwed it all up. It's always that.
Yeah, you're right.
It's always that.
It's amazing that I'm so astounded that it's always that and it is always that.
Well, no, because it won't be. It's kind of like my hypochondria. I mean, one day you will have the tumor. It's coming.
I'm trying to look at it like why, because another thing too, everybody was seeing if there was I think it's July 5th, maybe it was Monday or last week. Anyway, somewhere in July in these past couple days that the NFL still has an opt-out clause that if you wanted to not play the season, that you could opt out penalty-free, essentially. Now you're not getting paid, but you're not getting penalized.
You're not getting hurt.
Based on your contract or whatever. You could just literally sit out the season.
What was the news on that?
Well, he didn't do it.
Oh, he didn't.
So everybody was thinking that, like, he may do it. Like, he'll use this chance, and that'll be his loophole. Yeah. And he'll opt out, and then people have all these theories. Everybody has these crazy theories about what they presume he's doing, but he didn't do that. So it's like, all right. What's the plan?
The chat room is combining topics from the day. Rogers is just bummed out after taking the Graceland tour. It wasn't as emotional as he thought it would be. You guys are funny.
And so anyway,
that one is interesting. I love these type of deals where you see what's going to happen, and nothing would make me happier in this scenario for him to make a giant mess there and then walk away. I like that. I like it when people do that.
Seems like he really wants the GM fired.
Well, then that's like some sort of weird vendetta. You got to let that go.
Yeah, and
that's coming from me.
But also, it's like you start making impossible demands. That way, they cannot do it and make you happy.
Right.
Because that
gives you your way out.
That makes me think you're thinking, your agents and the people around you are telling you, like, kind of coaching you, your publicists. This is. The guy's worth a lot of money, and there's a lot of people making money. So I imagine that's what I'm just saying. Is like they're thinking out his comments very. They're like, yes, I don't like the GM. I want him fired. They know that there's no way Green Bay fires the GM for Aaron Rodgers. Like they look like fools. It's like
they won't do that.
They couldn't do it. So, but by him saying that's what he wants, he knows they're not going to do that, and therefore. The people that don't know the business are like, well, he wants that guy fired. Fire him, and it'll make him happy.
Well, eventually you do reach a and this happened to me, where you're asking for something that they're never willing to give you, because then that's kind of your pat on the ass to say, okay.
Yeah.
Ass or get off the pot. And when you're asked, you're exactly right. When you're like, then I just want to work out of contract. Remember that one?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, Daniel, you cannot work out of contract. You cannot be a hourly employee. Okay, well then I guess I've got some thinking to do.
That's stupid, by the way. They didn't let you do that.
Yeah,
why? What is good?
It was a sweet deal.
Who cares? Anyway.
And all my bonuses.
All right. We're done. Bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
Hi there. I am Daniel.
Want to do some voicemail?
I do. I love voicemail messages. If you would like to leave us one, super easy to do. Get our app. All of our content's on there. You can sign up to be a BDM member. That gives you extra shows, private parties. We will be re-rolling those out. In fact, we got to get to planning, I guess, very, very soon. But, yeah, sign up at tomanddan.com and leave us a voicemail message like this one right here.
Hey, Tom and Dan, Sam and Trav. This is Josh in Avalon Park. I like to call you guys when I have random observations. So I've been working from home for about a little over a year now. And I like to put the TV on sometimes while I'm working just to catch random stuff, Sports Center, Food Network, whatever. But every once in a while I turn on like the local news, like Channel 13. Now, I'm sure people have noticed this, and I know you guys have a background kind of sort of in news. Dan, I know your wife worked in news for a while, but what is with the news reporter voice? Like that, everybody has that same voice. Like I know that's not how you really sound. Like what is the point of that? Is that supposed to, is that just so that we know that we're listening to a news reporter or something? That whole like a local
this guy's rolling on his stand-up from 84. Oh my God.
Orlando Podnester was found in his home. What is that? I don't know if you guys can. Dan,
are we emulating? Like, is that something that's just been going on for multiple years?
Yeah,
because
I
it just.
think so.
I think it's the Godfather effect. It's like
I agree.
Mobsters didn't act like what the Godfather portrayed them to act like until after the Godfather, in which they started emulating the movie The Godfather and acting like that. So it was like, that's not how not how like traditional mobsters acted before The Godfather. It's like The Godfather just created this character and everybody just emulated that. I think the news did the same thing with just like the historic or like veteran newscasters started doing. It's like radio voice.
Yeah,
right?
well, I was gonna say, there was
like
a guy.
the way you presented.
There was a DJ that used to be on JRR that had like a really distinct cadence. And he's no longer, he hasn't been on there in years. I won't say his name.
But it was a traditional radio.
He had the traditional radio sound. And this guy, when he would do it, I promise you that all the DJs on JRR picked up a little bit of his voice, and everybody sort of sound like everybody's sort of doing
influenced by it.
Yeah, like you and I do it with the things that we say. Like you'll say something a bunch, like if you use the word possibly, or I'm trying to think of a word that you would quantify or vet it or something. Like I'll start picking that up through repetition, and I'll start saying it more.
Sure.
It's just we're humans, we're animals, and that's how it happens. But it was interesting because all the DJs sort of sounded like that. They were like, WJR. Like everybody had some of the.
Yeah, it was a certain cadence that they followed.
Yeah, it was like weird.
And I think you're presenting something, and then you may fall into like this character of the presenter news guy or woman or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's easier for you to play that presenting character in that cadence than it is for you to be your own personality.
Sure.
Because then you're not supposed to, especially with the news, like it's supposed to be, dead behind the eyes presenting. You're not supposed to start crying at horrible news. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Right.
You're
You should
presenting.
laugh.
You shouldn't have any comment. But now we've skewed away from that. And there's tons of
broadcasters with personalities now.
or just like internet news and all
Yeah.
these things where they have their own
editorialize
opinion.
it,
Everything's editorial.
I'd rather
now.
just a robot read the facts to me in a monotone voice.
News robot.
Yeah, news robot. We were ahead of our time.
Yeah.
So, but
Uh-oh.
Hey, Tom.
He's back. He's back.
It's doing it. I told you.
So I wonder if they naturally fall into that. We should talk to Jason Guy because he doesn't really do
He
that.
doesn't answer my emails anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like us
Yeah.
anymore.
No, he's. I'm
Busy
sure
man. He
he's
just got
It's
married. Yeah.
fine.
But I wonder if because he presents and has that like very professional news anchor voice, which is soothing to all of us, and it's like that's what we want.
I think I did it with the weather. When I used to always do the weather, I'd have a specific way to say that. And then when you and I do like ACT, you're like, it's another we have a set way that we do it. That's why I'm trying to get out of it. I'd rather just go like, All right,
What's
we're
up?
here. What do you want to talk about? You know?
We're done.
But you know what?
Bye-bye.
Your listeners they don't like when they don't get what they
Right.
expect.
Yes.
Like
when I changed the intro of the Friday Free
yeah,
show.
yeah.
Woo.
And man,
It's
not good.
So
Not good.
you say like, oh, these newscasters they're in a weird cadence. Why do they sound like that? I bet you that the more they sounded like that, the more better.
You think we'd like
The
it?
better-
Mo better. He did it again.
You more better these news guys. Yeah. You ain't see the news guy. Like, you see that all the wheat on there? You see the mothers together go on there? Yeah. Oh, put the little cadence spot on, put the butter on it. What am I gonna get on D?
Why can't I talk? I just want to be able
You
to
do it
talk.
for a
I don't
living.
know, but
I'm
you've
so
been
bad at
using
it.
the phrase "mo better." This is the second day in a
I'm
row
fine with
that
it.
you've. I like it.
I
I
just
just don't know how to
Mo
take
is
it.
in fact better. Just call mo.com.
I don't know how to take it
just
because
wanna talk.
I don't know if you've been. Have you been?
something's wrong with me.
Have you been dancing around your kitchen with a purple, green, and yellow top hat on again and fake dreadlocks with your face painted like a skull?
Why did I choose this business? I'm not good at talking.
Did you choose it?
No.
Kind of fell into it.
It chose him. You don't-
Why did it choose me?
It chose
That's
you.
I'm so bad
He
at
said,
it.
"Hey, we need somebody to come in here. Oh, this guy's mo better." That's what it said. Why do you?
The genie
you-
that
if
chose
you-
me is New Orleans.
The genie that chose me is a Bond movie. Hey, if you say it one more time,
God damn
there
it.
will be a genie in the bathroom.
Well, now
He'll
it's stuck
fly
in my
out
head.
the toilet.
I
I know.
literally, I'm gonna say it again.
Please stop saying
I
Mo
can't-
Better. You're gonna
can't
get
stop.
canceled because
He can't help
It
himself.
also
I
sort
can't
of
stop.
seems maybe a tad like you're dipping your toe into traditional Louisiana black culture,
Aw.
and you're saying Mo Better.
Yeah,
And
I can't stop saying it.
why are you saying
It's
it?
stuck. I can't. It's just the first thing that
The
comes to my
first thing
head.
you said, you went in there, you took one bite of your public salad. You're like, these cheese squares are Mo Better, baby. Yay. It's the yay. It's the weird Cajun
damn it.
squeal that is bothering me.
Next voice.
Next voicemail. All right, let's try this one.
Hello, Tom, Dan, Sam, and Butler. This is Zach in LA. I was listening to a recent ACT talking to Cadillac Pat, and y'all went on a tangent about an interaction with the homeless person and that person turning on you. And that
They'll do that, the homeless,
Oh, yeah.
especially now.
Yeah, they get mad if you don't give them what they want.
Yeah, they will.
They like to get what they want.
They do. It's weird.
got me thinking about my own interactions with homeless individuals. And I was kind of wondering what the craziest or weirdest interaction that anyone on the show has had with a homeless person,
I made love to a homeless person one time.
because I've had a couple unique ones myself, having the devil wished on me or being cursed outside of grocery stores, or even seeing a homeless person defecating or
I have a video that I collected over the weekend. This ties in. That is of a man pooping, a homeless man fighting a subway cleaner for the bucket, his mop bucket. And he grabs the guy's mop and he throws it on the ground. And then he drops his sweatpants and he sits on the bucket. And he does a number two. And it's the funniest video I've ever seen. It's fantastic. It's like chef's kiss. It is like literally the best thing because the one guy goes, "Oh God, call the cop! He's pooping in a bucket." Like some guy says that.
Yeah.
Oh, so good, so good.
Man, it's
I think when you're gonna laugh at your homeless interactions, I feel like it's better suited to laugh quietly in your own home. I don't feel like you're doing any. I don't think you're helping people to like you more by pointing out that you might have had a fight with someone who's mentally unstable and poor. See what I'm saying? So if you're gonna laugh about these things, we need to get better at just like either leave it to us, the professionals, or do it in your clothes. Just do it in your bedroom.
it.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about you.
Keep it in the bedroom.
I don't want to hear about you yelling at homeless. Be nice to them. Just try to be nice.
I I used to enjoy giving dollars out to
Yeah,
homeless
you
people.
did it Friday. $50. Right.
Oh man.
And then
Mo better.
I find myself more. Well, first I don't have any dollars because back when I used to carry on
No,
dollars,
like that. That's a good.
no, but
They
seriously,
all have Cash App now.
Who's
though.
got dollars? Yeah, but there's not. There's.
My wife always
I'm not
has
gonna-
crisp dollars on her, like always.
I am not. I don't know if this makes me an old man, but
She hands me $2 at the
go
car
to the
wash.
strip club every day?
No, but she hands me $2 at the car wash. She's like, tuck that in their box. They're working hard. I'm like an old man, a little old man.
Well, she's prepared for everything.
Yeah, she's prepared for
That's
everything.
But I'm never gonna Cash App or Venmo or anything a homeless person.
I think you already did.
I'm just saying if they like a stranger asking for like
They'll hold up
panhandling.
their signs with their Cash App on the sign now.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna go through.
No, you're not doing it.
Like I need to give them $1, and then they take it, look me in the eye, and say, "God bless you."
Right. Okay.
That's the what because
I like.
I'm not
you
gonna
know, I do
randomly like
that.
see a Cash
do
App
like
and then,
it when
because
they're
they
like-
don't see. I want the
you want your credit.
validation.
You know
Yeah.
what I do like, and people can learn from this, is that
And then I'm
homeless people sometimes will give you more grace and love than a family member when you give them $1 and they say, I've known a lot of people, and you're a stand-up guy. You're a good man. You're a good man.
Yeah, they'll compliment.
And
you.
I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what I am? And
Yeah,
they
that's
kind
what I
of pump
want.
me up a little bit.
You get
Yeah.
$1.
And I
Gas
don't
you
even
up.
get that from my own family.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
know what? I'm with you on the dollar thing.
Yeah.
I've gone full circle. I'm gonna start giving homeless people money.
Well, I'm doing it for me.
Yes.
For them to call me a good person.
Yeah, I want- pump me
God
up.
bless me. And then I'm like,
Is it rude to ask them like
And
how
then
much?
I'm like, do I want the God you believe in to bless me?
Well, you gotta
because
ask. You have to ask.
I feel like that God has been very bad to you.
Well, he hasn't seen you though. He hasn't seen you though.
Oh, me?
He's talking about him, not you.
Yeah, but I'm like, well, your God, the
Don't
same
compare.
God you're.
Don't compare.
I'm just saying, it's like this God's a vengeful God that's made
Right.
you very bad life.
Yeah. You also said God don't make no junk. And you're
You're pushing around
Yeah.
a cart full of junk.
You're as close as you can get. He may not make any, but he sure makes people push it. God don't make no junk, but he does like dogs to wear goggles in shopping carts.
Also, I find myself more and more because I don't have the dollar to give the person when they walk by, because I'm talking about the ones that they get into the lanes of traffic
Yes,
and just
I
walk
hate
up
that.
holding their sign. That you stare straight ahead
Yeah.
as an effort to never look them in the eye. Even
You ever
though
had them knock on your window?
I've had the knock
Yeah,
before.
that's aggressive.
Yeah, that is aggressive. And I wonder, because I've seen them do that, how many times have that actually shamed the person to giving them the dollar? Like, because it feels like more people would be mad than actually give them the dollar. But
I
must
think
be
they
work.
suss out who they think it will work on.
Oh, they like
You know what I
they see.
mean?
When they knock on my dollar, I
see-
get mad. Like I go a
Oh,
little.
but that's how most people do.
I get a little aggressive back because I don't like it when people like touch me or my stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Remember when windshield like washing was a thing in
Yeah.
New York? It was like in New York.
I
but they-
wish I had that. If they had that now, I'd give out more dollars.
No, but because they lift up your windshield
Yeah, they're
wipers
bringing
and
them.
then they're using. You'd be mad. Like
Yeah.
they're touching
They're
your car.
reckless.
Yeah. And then they're using
What about
newspaper.
tire shine? I could use a little tire shine.
Hard to do at a stoplight.
We're
And
gonna run real fast.
you can't see the windshield. You could see them wiping, so that there's some sort of
Yeah.
psychological like he's doing work. If he ran and he's like, "Hey, I cleaned your bumper," I'd be like, "Well, I didn't see that." You know what I'm saying? Like you have
Prove
to be able
it.
to see. Yeah. Anyway,
What happened there?
You gassed out. You shut down. The Adderall's wearing off.
I wanted to scream
Mo better.
and that's all I had. I'll say, wait for it.
All right, this one is a hot take. This one, I debated whether or not putting this in here, but you tell me to put them all in here, so here we go.
Okay, I love Craig from Pyrospot, but can somebody get that dude some water or something?
Yeah, he had the smacky mouth.
Oh, it's smack mouth.
Yeah, he had a smack mouth on the interview, and
Manny Mouth? Maybe that's what it really is.
He had a dangerous Danny Dry mouth.
Well,
'cause
we
it
didn't-
would
we didn't get him any water.
we
or
did.
anything, and then we interviewed him for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Most people don't talk for that
No.
much. That's why I'm constantly chugging water every second. Mountain
Yeah.
Dew,
It
and then I
was-
get phlegm throat, and I'm coughing Corona.
It was real smacky at the time. I noticed it, and I had the choice. Okay, you tell me because I had a Tom moment. I
No,
heard it.
never say anything. Never.
Thank you. Okay, I was going to. I heard it. He was in here and he's like, "Oh yeah," and he's
No.
and he's
Always-
smacking it crazy, and I'm like,
No, let them
should
embarrass.
I-
Never tell them about their booger. Never.
Okay.
I don't tell nobody nothing. And it's, even though it's they.
So don't. If Craig had a booger, smack.
Yeah,
mouth,
yeah.
nothing.
You-
Blood all over his face.
Let it ride.
Yeah.
You just don't say anything. Avoid the small awkwardness.
What if his ding dong's out like Carrot Top on Instagram?
Man, that
No,
thing
no.
flopped right on out, didn't it?
Okay.
He did it on purpose.
Hold
He
on a
was
second.
gyrating
I
crazy.
have seen him do that on Instagram in upwards of 8 to 10 times, right?
I'm surprised he's not banned.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. At what point does it become like this guy is just out of control?
Okay, the nicest man in the world.
He is.
And literally didn't have to let us into his green room and give us an interview and give us free tickets to a show and always
he's
been
the best. He's the best.
Awesome to
Yeah.
us. I saw him a couple times recently.
Yeah, he was in town. He ran the big race at Track Shack, the big watermelon 5K.
And I don't
Shout
know.
out to the Track Shack.
You know
folks.
what? I bet it's just the fact that he is he's a private guy. It seems weird to say that because he's a public
I think he's
celebrity.
very private.
But he's and because he's on Instagram and social media, you see these things. So, and then I think he gets a bad rap for people think he's a weirdo because he's very private. But every interaction I've ever had with him,
He's awesome.
super genuine, nice guy.
I think maybe people think he's weirdo because he's flopping his ding dong
Yeah,
on Instagram
that's
every
it.
other
Well,
month.
that's his thing. He likes to do that.
He likes it.
I like Instagram.
It's like if you have
and I like tiny shorts.
Yeah.
If you have the world's longest fingernails, you hold them out.
Yeah, you don't trim them.
Well, I'm just saying, you show them around. I'm just saying, he's a well-endowed man. Daniel saw it in the hot tub.
I've been saying this for years. I've always said that. No one ever believed me. And what a time to be alive. Now everybody knows.
You find ways to show the world what you have, I
Yeah,
think,
you
right?
do.
And
you know what I
people-
say is this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine.
Yeah.
Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
But it does seem...
Hide it under a bushel? No! I'm going to let it shine.
And maybe we're all like, we know Carrot Top. We've
seen the carrot.
How many times? You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
here's
You
what
only
was
have
weird
to
is there
let
were
people
like
know a little
3,000
bit.
comments. And everybody's comment is like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, it's like, if you look-
Yeah.
And so I'm like reading these and I'm like, does he go back and look at it and go,
He probably laughs.
yeah,
right?
I
Yeah.
would.
Well, there used-
I mean, it's not something to be like, not proud of.
Okay,
You know?
hold
I
on.
mean,
Let's analyze this. For
Yes,
a second.
that's
Okay,
why I
bring up his Instagram.
Oh, I
We're-
can't. I can't bring.
Oh, no, because
I mean, you
okay.
can just not show it on Twitter.
Okay, oh, yeah.
You can just show it to Tom.
Sorry, yeah. Just show it to me, and then let's go through, and then let me analyze the reason he's doing this. Because he knows, right? Like, he's doing it on purpose.
Absolutely. He
'Cause
was.
I don't think he doesn't know.
He definitely did this one on purpose because he was doing some dance moves where he was
it's gone.
trying to flop it out. Yeah, I'm sure it got scrubbed.
gone.
But he was air boofing hard in those tiny shorts. I'm surprised it didn't pop out earlier, but then
It's gone.
And,
it popped out and he wiggled it around and
he put that, so he knew.
I'm sure he watched the video before he posted it. He
Yeah.
knew what he was doing.
I mean, I watched that video 100
the
times.
thirst traps.
I watched it 100 times.
So-
I couldn't stop looking at it.
So,
mesmerizing.
what's the reason?
I mean,
I think he thinks it's funny.
Okay,
I mean,
that's a good
it's-
reason.
I got to tell you,
It's a made you look scenario.
His act is funnier than it. It's more impressive than funny.
Yeah.
I didn't found nothing funny about serious business. When I'm looking at it.
Okay.
When I look at it,
Tiny
like,
elevator button
that's
are
funny.
funny, like
Thank
a
He knows.
micro. But then when you
that wasn't funny.
yeah,
That's not
it's just
funny.
like serious,
Yeah, I'm
serious
like,
business.
yeah, I was like, this
It's
is
serious.
This is a transaction.
It's
This is
Merchant Eric's saying it's still there. So
Oh,
he's on that Instagram. He's
Oh,
watching
okay.
it. What are you doing, Eric?
Yeah, so because that's more of a humble brag, right?
Yeah.
not this
Like-
one. I don't.
Are you
Oh,
sure?
it might
I
be.
think it is.
It might be. Okay. Yeah, this is the one.
Okay, just
yeah.
don't put that on Twitch, and we should be
So much.
okay.
Showing the
So
thing.
he's talking
So
about
he's
how
in
he ran
tiny-
this marathon.
He's in tiny running shorts.
He's running around, so he's clearly not wearing panties.
yeah.
Oh, there
look,
it
he's
is.
high lifting,
Yeah,
high
there it is,
lifting.
there it is,
Okay,
there it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Now wait for it.
See, why
No,
it
wait,
didn't pop
no, wait,
out
no,
here?
no.
There it is. See, you guys laughed. It is funny.
Carrot top,
funny.
carrot top, carrot
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
He's the king.
And then he eats a flower.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and it looks
Oh, no,
crazy. That's like, God, if I woke up to that, I'd be like, Jesus Christ.
You're doing something an insane person does. That's one thing, but it's funny, and we laughed.
Yeah.
But it's serious business.
That is
serious business.
That is some serious
Because you're like,
business.
whoa. You're like, that's some serious business.
Like you've seen me naked before.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
funny.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
a little pig. Oh, Porky's barbecue's running around.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like you see him and it
Yeah,
falls
yeah.
out, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what? The comedy is like the Kim Jong and Hangover.
Hangover,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
funny.
you're like, oh my god,
Look
what
how
a
smooth he is. My God.
It's like what is it? Like a tiny
It's like
cabbage
straight
patch doll.
out. there's no
Yeah,
hang.
It'll never hang.
There's no hang.
It's attached.
No, there's a lot of hanging here.
It's
Yeah.
a Lego.
not here.
Anyway.
This is a
Yeah, that's serious business.
This is I don't even know what you call this.
So, but what the motivation is? Okay, but he's a ladies' man. I don't know if he's got a girlfriend or anything serious now, but
He used to have a girlfriend.
There
I
were
met her one time.
There were multiple. Not to talk about his business,
You
but
out in his business, bro?
he had a model girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was other model caliber women waiting to go.
Oh, when we
see
were there.
his.
The parade of girls that were 12s was endless.
Yeah. So it's like I think he likes the ladies. So this is a way to show him that you have the business. Is that motivation? Because you don't really need to do that. You're a carrot
I think
top.
we're overthinking it.
It's just stupid. I'm throwing it out there.
That's
okay.
what I
All
think
right.
it's just stupid, and I got
He's
it.
just having fun.
And you ain't got it, and I got it.
Yeah.
And God bless America.
Are you allowed to show that on
No.
Instagram?
No.
Okay, so
The fact that it has not been pulled yet, I
Look
am
at how many comments are on there
shocked.
now.
Oh, I have to look it up.
but could that
I'm
get you pulled down
fascinated
from Instagram?
Yes.
So that's weird too, because you're taking a chance
Yeah.
of
And this isn't the first time.
getting your
But-
social media pulled down,
but this-
which helps your business.
But this
Is it
video
worth it?
not as good as the homeless guy pooping in that
It's
bucket.
been watched over 25,000 times.
Yeah.
284 comments.
And you know what? 24,000 of those people are extremely happy with their video.
It's funny. It's just I'm thinking too much into it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, pretty much.
It's just a random thing he threw up there because he laughed, even though his dong fell out, and he could be taken off Instagram. He didn't care. Who cares? You're rich. Is that it, or is it like, hey, I'm showing? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't. I mean, there is the offset chance that he doesn't know it's in the video.
I cannot imagine that he does not. He was high stepping for a reason. He was trying to get that thing to fall out.
Yeah. Samantha's right. Like Carrot Top was a smart gentleman.
Oh, he's very smart.
And he knows exactly what he was doing.
Yeah.
But again, to what?
Don't know.
What's the exact reason? I
Don't
guess
know.
there's no. Could be.
Nope.
Bye-bye.